The road trip, he picked up right where he left off at home, and then now, coming through the break and the All-Star game, he's just continuing to stay on that role and got a pitch up in the zone. I thought he put a really good swing on it and just continues to be, come up big with those home runs. And I thought that was a big one to get us on the board and at least get us on the winning side of it, or the leading side of that game at that point of the game.
And he almost went yard on Sunday with that final out.
Yeah.
Almost went yard on Sunday with that final out.
Game was a little in hand at that point. But, yeah, I mean, he's a tone setter. He's a guy that is an energy guy for this team where I think guys just feed off of what Randy is doing right now. And you can see just the intensity from him in those moments, but also when he is really feeling himself, I think that gets the rest of the dugout being like, yeah, all right, we got Randy. We're in a good spot here. He's just been so clutch over the last couple of weeks, and him on Friday coming through the way he did. Love to see that. And then also had some really heads-up base running on Saturday night. Hit that double in the 8th inning to get aboard, and then scored on a wild pitch in the bottom of the 8th. Brian Abreu, he uncorked one, and Randy was able to come around and score. So I think that's an underrated aspect of Arozarena's game bump is his base running. Like, he has been a really, really good base runner for this Mariners team, and him benefiting them in that way on Saturday, that was crucial to what they were able to do this weekend. Now, yesterday's result, 11-3, bump, if I had told you the Mariners are sending Brian Wu to the mound, and Hunter Brown, the Astros starting pitcher, gives up 3 early runs, and you chase him before he can really get deep into the ball game. I mean, you're probably thinking, like, whoa, like the Mariners swept the Astros? Like, that's what went down? Hunter Brown only goes 4 innings, gives up 3 runs. Brian Wu goes 6 like he always does. This is setting up to be a sweep, right? Boy, that game yesterday, that was a harsh reality check from the baseball gods is what that was.
Yeah, it's almost like when I hit a birdie, one hole, I know I'm going to bogey the next. It's just this is how that thing works, and that's what it felt like with these guys. It kind of got loose, in the 5th inning? I think things got loose a little bit for Wu, but listen, he's allowed to have a game or two where he looks human. And Hunter Brown, I think going into this game, he allowed 10 runs in his last 9 innings, right? Something that they're not used to seeing on that end. So it's kind of like things flip-flopped a little bit. All right, Wu came back to reality. Hunter Brown got back to who he was. But look, you won the series 2-3. That was the main thing. A sweep would have been nice, but you got the series win, and you got off fairly healthy. It looks sloppy at times too. JP drops a ball that he normally catches. Julio gets turned around in the outfield. JP tries to no glove throw to first base. He drops that ball. It's just things started happening where you just felt like, okay, this just isn't their day.
So the Mariners now sit 4 back in the American League West. Could have gotten all the way up to 2 back in the AL West with 62 games remaining after today. So how do you feel about them in correlation to the Astros specifically? Because I get that right now the Mariners are currently holding a wild card spot in the AL, but you're 4 back of the Astros, so you're within shouting distance of the AL West. When you look at how they matched up this weekend, how big of a gap is there with this version of the Astros team that was without Pena, without Alvarez, and without Paredes over the weekend? Like, where do you think they are kind of in terms of that race between them and Houston for the AL West?
See, I told you guys, 2 weeks ago that I'm not even looking at the division. I'm just looking at the wild card. But now I'm peeking around the corner at the division now. I'm like, all right, now you're in the conversation for sure.
Right.
And that's the thing. As long as the Astros are banged up, obviously you're going to have a better opportunity to catch these guys, right? But some things have to still be true. Cal has to still be Cal. Randy, keep hitting your bombs. Julio, keep turning that corner. Guys on the mound, stay healthy and do what you're supposed to do. But no, I'm definitely taking a peek now. This version of the Astros can get got. What say you?
I think so. I think it's definitely worth checking in on the division, and I think that that gives you all the more incentive to go for it, right? To add at the trade deadline and to go out and get pieces that can secure yourself some home games in the playoffs, even if it is maybe that first round of the wild card series. But I think, yes, there is an opportunity for this Mariners team to secure some kind of home field advantage in the playoffs, whether it be 2 wild card games or actually 3 wild card games if you go to a game 3 in the wild card series. And I think that should be incentive enough. And like winning your division matters in baseball. It absolutely matters. So for them to be able to have that opportunity, I think that would be huge for them. So I don't think that this series means like, oh, kind of just continue on the path that's been plotted out for you. No, I think you should use this as maybe more ammunition to be like, look, even if we get to the playoffs and maybe don't win our division, you're still going to have to get through Houston. You're still going to have to get through Detroit. You're still going to have to get through Toronto, New York, potentially. Tampa's fallen off. They've fallen off a little bit here in the last few weeks, but like you are still going to have to match up against these teams. So maybe don't concern yourself so much with like, hey, how do we match up against Boston, a team that is, not nearly as hot as they were before the All-Star break. So I think, going out and acquiring the talent necessary to compete with this Houston team, especially when Houston's at full health, that's going to be of the utmost importance for the Mariners over the next, 10 days?
Yeah.
Because that's all the time you have left to add.
That's it. Take advantage of the situation. And the Brewers are coming into town. And we're going to look forward to that series here later on in the show. But no, this makes me a bit more optimistic. I'm usually optimistic about the team, right? I hang in there until they are mathematically out of the situation, and them showing up after the All-Star break and looking the way that they did, that was fun. And you got a little bit of everything, right? You won in extra innings, you blew them out 6-1, and then you got clapped 11-3. Like you felt almost everything in this series, and you saw some good performances. So it's all about just riding the wave. Can they continue to ride the wave? And what does this really do for ownership, for management? Does it make them want to be more aggressive, or do they sit back and say, "See, guys, we can do it with this team"? At one point, I thought that they could win with this. I think if the roster were to stay the way it is now, right, they don't make any major moves. They don't get some of the bats we hear about, O'Hearn, Naylor. It sounds like Arizona's kind of pumping the brakes on getting rid of their guys as well.
I think, was it Cincinnati over the weekend? They're back to 500 now in the National League West. It's still going to be a very tough road for them to even get back into things in the West, with the Giants ahead of them, the Padres ahead of them, and then the Dodgers ahead of them. But they're not dead yet.
They're not dead yet.
So they still have some incentive to continue trudging forward.
Yeah, and that's what I don't want to hear.
Right.
And that's what I don't want to hear. And
wave the white flag.
So what about this now? All right, so we need the Diamondbacks to fall. Guess who they're playing their next series?
It is the Astros.
So are you rooting for the Astros this series?
I kind of, in a way, in a weird way, yes, because ultimately that would then free up Suarez, Naylor, to a lesser extent here in Seattle, Gallen and Merrill Kelly too. But definitely Suarez and Naylor are the two names you're watching and checking in on the most. The problem is that if the Houston Astros sweep aside the Diamondbacks, that could potentially put you further down in the AL West race, because the team that's coming here to Seattle tonight and Tuesday and Wednesday is the hottest team in all of baseball. It's the Milwaukee Brewers, winners of 10 straight heading into this week. And then they've got Jacob Mizorowski pitching, I think, Tuesday night against the Mariners team. So you got Woodruff tonight, Mizorowski on Tuesday, and then Quinn Priester on Wednesday. So you're going to see some pretty decent pitching here in Seattle. So, yes, it's great that they picked up a game on the Astros this weekend, but you're in this weird spot of do we root for Houston?
You know
I don't like
do.
it, Bump.
I don't know.
I don't like it at all.
I guess we just sit here and exist and just analyze it when it all goes down.
How about Houston takes 2 or 3 from the Astros, you sweep the Brewers, that way you still pick up a game on them, and the Astros have put the Diamondbacks into a bigger hole.
There you go.
That's the best possible.
Just figured it out for us. There it is. Headline rewrites.
Extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
The Seahawks released tight end Noah Fant on Sunday, saving nearly $9 million against the cap. What's the real headline?
Real headline, in my greatest Brian Windhorst impression.
Why would they do that?
Why would they do that?
Why? Because you're paying that dude $13 million, and he's didn't play like a $13 million tight end, and you are clearing up some space, hopefully, to make a move. who's out there. Henderson is still out there. Are you going to really make a move to go get him? I don't know. I don't even think it's really necessary that you go get Henderson. I think this defense is good to go. But no, you're paying him $13 million, and he just wasn't giving you that type of production. And you look at that tight end room. A.J. Barner is a good ball player. Arroyo's going to be good for that squad as well. They're looking at these two youngsters and clearing up space for them to grow a little bit.
We'll talk about this later in the hour, but I love that this Seahawks team is now going young at tight end and also going cheap at tight end too, because look, it wasn't just Noah Fant that was overpaid considering what his production was. In years past, it was Will Dissly that was overpaid considering what his production was. Luke Wilson. It was just guys that were giving you average to maybe slightly above average production, but their pay was top 10 tight end money in the NFL. I think the Seahawks are doing a much better job at allocating funds on that side of the ball than they've ever been under John Schneider. And I think a lot of that is maybe the influence of Mike McDonald on what the Seahawks are trying to do here.
They're going cheap on offense.
Headline rewrites.
Scotty Scheffler won his second major of 2025 and fourth overall after winning the British Open by 4 strokes. What's the real headline?
Real headline for someone who says he doesn't care about winning. He sure does it a lot.
Right. Then stop winning, Scotty. Good for him, man. I saw a stat from his first major to his fourth. It took him 1,197 days. From Tiger's first major to his fourth, it took him 1,197 days. So they asked him about the comparison to Tiger Woods, and he humbly just killed all that noise. Like, look, man, Tiger's the greatest of all time. I'm not worried about trying to catch him or do the things that he's done. He's 4 majors down. Tiger won, 15 of those things? So, I mean, it's within reach. The way that he's winning has been impressive to watch. And I saw a meme of him dressed up as like an emo kid, depressed that he won the Open, his 4th major. He's got
17 PGA Tour wins, 5 on the European Tour. That was his 4th major. He is 1 away from the career Grand Slam. Has yet to win a U.S. Open title, so he can pick that up next year. Yeah, I saw the comparisons between Scotty and Tiger, and I respect the heck out of what Scotty Scheffler has done in his career, and 4 major championships in such a short amount of time. Like, that's so stinking impressive. But, like, some of the records that Tiger Woods has, like the one of the craziest ones is the cut streak, right?
Yeah.
Where it was like 150 something tournaments in a row where Tiger Woods was playing into the weekend. Like, no one does that. I think the comparisons between Scotty and Tiger end pretty quickly. I get that Scotty Scheffler has won a lot, but I don't think he still moves the needle with like the casual sports fan the way Tiger does. Like, I'm not a golf viewer. If Tiger Woods is ever in the hunt on a Sunday, I'm tuning in. Scotty Scheffler, still not there yet.
He just doesn't have the personality and swag. Tiger brought like a different swag to the game and arrogance too. Scotty just seems like a nice guy who's a good golfer, you know. And it's just different. It's hard to try to do anything that Tiger Woods has done. One of the crazy stats I saw with Tiger, this isn't completely accurate, but it was like within 3 feet, putts within 3 feet. He made like 1,500 straight putts within 3 feet. I played golf this weekend. I missed 5 putts within 3 feet in 1 round. Tiger was the greatest to do it, but Scotty is making some noise, and people should pay attention.
Headline rewrites.
The NFLPA's J.C. Treader is re-signing just days after Lloyd Howe stepped down amid several controversies. What's the real headline?
Real headline, the bar is super low to clear for whoever takes over for those guys next.
Everybody's dipping. Let me get out of here. I read an article and Treader said, well, I'm not resigning out of shame. It's just been too much for my family. Yeah, you are. You are. And your name has been mentioned with him.
No one's proud to resign.
No,
no one resigns like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing.
You're suggesting that players fake injuries. It's just a bad look, man.
The NFLPA is going to get absolutely waxed in these upcoming CBA negotiations.
Yeah.
They have no leadership at all.
None.
And the leadership that they've been like kind of putting out there, it's like, really, this is who's in charge? What's ridiculous is that in the 48 hours between Lloyd Howell's resignation after it was found out that he's tried to expense strip club visits, Treader's name was thrown out there as a potential like interim for Howell. And you had people on social media, former players, being like, really, this is the best we can do? I think it was Ben Watson, the former tight end, who played for the Patriots all those years ago. He was one. Will Compton, who was a linebacker in the NFL, he was another that was like, this is your guy.
Yeah.
I just think the NFLPA needs to tear everything down and figure something out, because these upcoming CBA negotiations, I don't think will end well for them. I don't think they're going to get anything taken care of. I hope that they do get a lot that they're asking for, but I just think the leadership in place is not going to yield those results.
No, it's not a good look for the NFLPA, and that CBA deals it's gonna be rough, man. Negotiating is going to be tough, but yeah, where do you go from here? Who knows? We'll find out soon.
Bump, we're getting a lot of blowback on the text line.
They lighting us up
about potentially rooting for the Astros against the Diamondbacks this week. Look, we're not proud to do it. We're not happy that this is the scenario in place, but if it means that Geno Suarez and Josh Naylor get to Seattle sooner than later, maybe you take one for the team.
Take one for the team.
Maybe you take
Everyone's done that once in their life. You've taken one for the team. Come on now. Right. Well, let's see how this thing happens. So, thankfully, we have no control over it, so let's just see how it all goes down. All right, we got a good show for you guys today. It's the Dad Podcast on the Bump and Stacy Show. At 11, we'll be joined by Rams broadcaster JB Long. At 12, we got Jeremy Fowler. It's going to join the show, but what's next? Noah Fant, you guys heard this, was just released. Just saved about $8.9 million on the cap. What does that mean for the Seahawks? We'll let you know.
The clack of the cleats. The sounds of summer drifting off Lake Washington. These sounds of summer are the prelude to the symphony of fall and winter. Football season is coming. Just 2 more days until Seahawks training camp begins.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by The Landing in Renton,
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Free consultations, no-fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. The best place to watch all your favorite sports. Featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, 6 windows, and 30 kiosks. Be there at EmeraldQueen.com. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Riereka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
G. Scott here to talk about Sunbucks, a SNAP program that provides free, healthy food when school is out. If you could use the help, simply fill out the form online to determine eligibility for $120 of free food per child. If families had cards last year, they have been replenished. If families need new cards, they can call the Sunbucks call center. This message is presented by Safeway, where customers can use SNAP to save on produce and shop online. Visit hungerfreewa.org/summer EBT.
Overburdened with a bunch of stuff you don't want anymore, but feel bad throwing it away? John here with Happy Hauler, Seattle's eco-friendly junk removal. We prioritize donating and recycling. We'll help get your items to those in need instead of going to the landfill. At Happy Hauler, we pride ourselves on responsibility, community, and sustainability. We're a family-run small business that provides junk removal, donations, and recycling. Make yourself, your community, and the planet happy. It's time to reclaim your space. HappyHauler.com, hauling with a heart.
For Riverside Roofing, beyond the national accolades is a family company from right here in Marysville that's built upon important local values like trust. That's why Riverside Roofing is the roofing company you can trust. Find them at riversideroofingllc.com.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
This is my life. This is my family's life. The people that work here, they're my family. When something's not right with them, it's not right with us.
We get notifications every time we get a review. And I said, how do you not let it eat you up? Sometimes I feel so responsible. And his answer was, I just look at it as an opportunity. We need that feedback to learn and to do better. I'm grateful for the feedback.
Big part of sales is the relationship aspect. People want to do business with someone they can trust, who's a real person. They don't feel like you're just going after their money. And when you take the time to get to know them, get to know their needs, not be a car salesman, but be a consultant, then they feel more comfortable with you, and the experience is better on both sides.
It's not about closing deals. It's about opening relationships, helping people make the right choice. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Noah Fant, 3 years with the Seattle Seahawks. His time here is done. He will get picked up somewhere else. He's a good tight end, but you're paying him $13 million, and you weren't getting that type of production. It wasn't like he was a chump out there either, right? His first year with the Hawks in, 2022, he had 50 receptions for 486 and 4 touchdowns. You go to 2023, 43 receptions, 414, 0 touchdowns, and then last year he had 48 receptions, 500 yards, and 1 touchdown. He was productive, but just not as productive as you would like for that type of money. So now the door is open for A.J. Barner and the young man Arroyo to kind of shine and do their thing. You've saved some money. You now have around $35 million in cap space. What do you do with that money, and what does this mean for the young tight ends?
So let's start with the young tight ends. I think this means a tremendous opportunity for A.J. Barner and Elijah Arroyo to compete for that starting tight end job. And I think Barner has a good shot at getting that job, even though Arroyo is the second-round pick, just because of what Barner was able to do as a rookie last season. I think he outplayed expectations for a lot of people. And, I mean, if he didn't have that performance, I don't know if the Seahawks are as willing to part with Noah Fant as they were yesterday. I still think Elijah Arroyo is going to factor in a lot to this offense this season, but I think they just really like A.J. Barner. So that's my first thing on this. The money that you freed up we all kind of get blinded by what's available out there. And like you mentioned, Trey Hendrickson is a possibility. We'll get to what the Bengals owner Mike Brown said about that whole situation later on in the show during NFL headlines. But I think, Bump, the most important order of business right now for the Seahawks is figuring out what to do with the class of 2022 guys. What do you do with what we looked at about 6 names that they could potentially extend or maybe let play out their contracts heading into this 2025 season? And I think there are a couple names that jump out as possibilities to extend. Kobe Bryant is a name. I saw Brady Henderson write about him over the weekend. That's somebody that I think people are looking at as a possible extension candidate. Boye Mafe is another one. What do you do with Charles Cross? We talked to Joel Corey about that last week, and he was like, maybe wait a little bit on a Charles Cross extension. But Reek Woolen is another name. I think at least some of these 2022 guys are going to be getting extensions here probably within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and that's a great class. I mean, you mentioned some of the names already. Just to remind you guys, in that class, when Charles Cross, Boye Mafe, Ken Walker, Abe Lucas, Kobe Bryant, Reek Woolen, Tyreek Smith, Bo Melton, and Derek Young. I think Reek Woolen is going to be one of the most interesting ones to me because the potential is there. Like, physically, you look at this dude, and he looks like an NFL corner. He's fast. He has good ball skills. He was a receiver at one point in college. Tackling could be a bit better. I think that's something that Mike McDonald's going to work on him with. But it's like having that super athletic kid that shows glimpses of his greatness, but then just can't be consistent. This is going to be a big year for Reek Woolen. Like, he can make some money this year if he goes out, has 12 passes defended, 4 or 5 interceptions. He could be one of the hotter names on the market.
I think so. I absolutely think so. And do you run the risk of letting him hit the open market and then seeing the numbers that he might get offered? Because a free agent of his caliber doesn't often hit the market quite that often. And so I think when you look at what Reek Woolen could command in free agency, it's probably going to be more than what the Seahawks offer as an extension.
Right.
And if you're Reek Woolen, do you potentially sign an extension here in Seattle and maybe leave some money on the table, or do you risk it and have a fantastic season this year and hit the open market in free agency? Because I think that Woolen is going to be one of those guys that receives a contract offer in free agency that's going to exceed what the Seahawks may be comfortable with. Kind of reminds me of like Byron Maxwell or Shaq Griffin when those two guys hit the market and you saw the numbers that those guys were getting paid, and all of a sudden the Seahawks are kind of like, you know what? I think we're going to pass on this. Congrats to you on getting this number, but I don't think the Seahawks want to end up paying 2 corners by the time 2026 rolls around, top 10 money, when you've got Devin Witherspoon also to worry about. So that's going to be a very interesting contract situation to watch for.
And I went back and I'm looking at film of Fant, and there's something that when you look at all 3 of the tight ends that were here, right, Fant, A.J. Barner, and Arroyo, no one really is like a great blocker. And you know that in this offense, Kubiak's going to ask you to be a great blocker. Granted, the young players have more space to grow, right? Arroyo can become a great blocker. A.J. Barner's not bad, but he's just not a great blocker. I wonder if they bring in a veteran, just an old school tight end veteran, cowboy collar, number 80-something, can't run routes, but he will block you. Like, you would assume he's going to bring that type of guy in. Or
is that full, like, linebacker face mask?
Linebacker face mask, which you would assume maybe Freddie. How do you say his last name? The fullback tight end. Outs?
Robbie Oots.
Robbie Oots. Sorry, Robbie Oots. What about Robbie? Maybe they use him as that hybrid tight end / fullback type of guy.
Yeah, you got Brady Russell here too.
Yeah.
They both kind of play that fullback tight end spot. I would imagine both probably stick on the roster based off of their flexibility and how they're able to play fullback and tight end. But I think another encouraging sign from this roster move made yesterday is it shows that the Seahawks are willing to kind of reassess how they allocate that money to the tight end position. You have had a run of tight ends that have been paid a lot more than what their production has been. Now I think it's much more in line with what Barner and Arroyo what they add to that group, rather than having a guy who can make, or rather than having a guy whose cap number was 13-something million, what Fant was, and you save $9 million against the cap now. The money that they were paying Fant, it just did not add up to the production, and I think that's kind of been a stark contrast with McDonald and Schneider working hand in hand compared to what Carroll and Schneider were doing, where Carroll, I think, valued tight ends in a much different way than the rest of the league does, because he was willing to pay those blocking tight ends significantly more than I think what they would normally command out there. And I mean, look, when Will Dissly has left the organization, when Colby Parkinson has left the organization, do you hear from them much? No. Those two guys, and they were fine when
Colby
they were here.
Rams,
yeah. And Dissly went to the Chargers, I believe. But again, those two guys leave the organization, and it's kind of like, well, now you see how another team values them, and it's not much.
No, and neither of those guys. I mean, Dissly was closer to that old school tight end, right? That blocker. He had good hands. Colby Parkinson, I thought was going to be a great red zone threat. Never really developed. He did get hurt a couple times to kind of set back his development.
6'7", 6'8".
Yeah, big boy. But now it's develop. Can you develop tight ends? Yeah. I think that is a task that Kubiak and this offensive staff has. But I think that I like where they're starting. Like the floor is a bit higher with these two, with Arroyo and with A.J. Barner, just because of the way the game is played too. You got to be slippery, blocking, getting into the seams, getting into the flats. I see them doing that. Blocking's like rebounding though. If you don't want to rebound, you're not going to grab any boards. Like you have to want to block and become a pro. And I think those two have that in them. They just got to be taught.
I think so. And two, McDonald comes from the Harbaugh coaching tree, both John and Jim he's coached under. And I think both of those guys have definitely used the tight end to their advantage in their coaching careers. I think about some of the great ones that they've coached. Jim Harbaugh had Vernon Davis in San Francisco. And then in college had Colston Loveland. He had I don't know if he had George Kittle for any time in San Francisco. Maybe there was a slight crossover between those two. But John Harbaugh in Baltimore right now has two of maybe the top 6 or 7 tight ends in the league, and Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. He's had a lot of other good guys. I think Ed Dixon was another one in Baltimore. Dennis Pitta, another productive tight end. So those two guys have kind of shown how the tight end can be used. I wonder if McDonald is kind of like, look, I want to develop my own here. That way we can kind of make this thing look like what it's looked like with both the Harbaugh brothers.
12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends. You're going to see a lot of that from this Kubiak offense, and those 2 young men, A.J. Barner and Arroyo, have some space to shine now. So good luck to Noah Fant, man. He's going to get picked up, and we'll see who does it. All right, when we come back, who's available, who's not available? 10 days until the trade deadline. We'll discuss that next.
MLB Network insider John Morosi every week with Wyman and Bob.
Can they do enough at the trade deadline?
They don't have to necessarily be in first place by the end of July, but you need to show the front office that this team is worth adding to. But they need to show you more from guys who are not named Cal Raleigh. I'd be paying very close attention. Emerson, Young, Celestin, to see who potentially could be the one that they move.
See the full conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Buckle up. True country icon Clint Black is rolling into Muckleshoot Event Center Tuesday, August 5th on his Back on the Blacktop tour. Grab your boots and get your tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com. Clint Black, live and loud and only at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
The biggest scuba sale in America starts Thursday at Underwater Sports in North Seattle. Clearance prices on masks, regulators, computers, fins, tanks, BCs, free photo and video seminars, free fitting, and incredible savings on a custom-fit dry suit. Big savings on beginner, advanced, and specialty classes. Underwater Sports' 47th Annual Divers Fair starts this Thursday at the North Seattle Underwater Sports Store, 107th and Aurora Avenue North. Don't miss the biggest scuba sale in America.
Get lower energy bills, cleaner air, and year-round comfort with AeroSeal duct sealing. Normally $2,500. Now just $99 for PSE customers with each replacement furnace or heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance. Learn more at homecomfortalliance.com today.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips. So we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
Lowe's knows big savings make a big difference, especially when you're shopping for appliances. Hurry in to get up to 30% off select major appliances. Plus, My Lowe's Rewards members get free delivery, free haul away, free installation and parts on purchases of $2,500 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowes.com/delivery for more details.
Get in the game at Hoops on the Pier. Friends of Waterfront Park and Rise Above are hosting a 2-day youth basketball camp at Pier 62 for ages 6 to 16. It's free, it's fun, and it's right on the water. July 31st and August 1st. Plus, open courts during the afternoons. Open to all ages and abilities. Don't have a basketball? No worries. We have a ball for you. Live out your Hoops dreams on the waterfront. More info at waterfrontparkseattle.org. Brought to you by Friends of Waterfront Park.
Planning a road trip? Plan a visit to your neighborhood Bucky's Complete Auto Repair for oil changes, brakes, AC repair, and factory maintenance. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit buckys.com.
Why is Mazda of Everett the #1 dealer on the West Coast? Mazda of Everett is locally owned and operated for 20 years. They work hard to get you their best deal every time and to make sure you drive away happy. With over 700 new Mazdas, they stock more than anyone in the Seattle area. Find out for yourself why people keep coming back to Mazda of Everett. Take advantage of the Mazda of Everett price during the More to Move You sales event. MazdaofEverett.com. Claims based on Mazda USA inventory and sales reports.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Dave Wyman here for Harley Exteriors. When you hear Harley Exteriors, I want you to think windows manufactured right here in Washington and specifically designed for our Pacific Northwest homes and climate. These are the windows you want. They look absolutely stunning, much better than a traditional vinyl window, and they're going to lower your energy bills and provide year-round comfort. They also come with a double lifetime, fully transferable warranty, meaning not only are you covered for glass breaking or damaged seals, it's going to help your resale and home value. These windows last up to 60 years. Harley Exteriors is making these windows affordable with options like 0 payments and 0 interest up to 12 months for qualified buyers. In July, Harley Exteriors is offering 50% off basic installation, no payments, no interest for 12 months, and an additional $200 off your project. Think Harley Exteriors for windows, doors, and more right here in the Puget Sound. Call 833-HARLEY or just go to harleyexteriors.com.
Now is the time. We talk about it year-round, but roofing season really is upon us. It's Mike Salk here. So what makes it roofing season? Long, dry days where roofing crews can work realistically sun up to sundown. They're cranking out projects all over our region, and Riverside Roofing is, of course, leading the charge. Local to Marysville, Riverside Roofing serves the entirety of Western Washington. They do amazing work. They've earned my recommendation, plus industry awards like GAF Master Elite's President's Club, a status fewer than 1% of roofing companies in the entire country actually achieve. Get a roofing quote in less than 60 seconds using Quick Quote directly on riversideroofingllc.com. It'll pop up as soon as you go on their website. During and after your roofing job, you can expect a yard and driveway totally clean of debris. Behind their national accolades is a family company from right here in Marysville, built upon important local values like trust. That's why Riverside Roofing is the local roofing company you can trust. Go to riversideroofingllc.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Trade deadline 10 days away. Teams are going to be trying to make some moves. We talked about some possibilities, and the thing that always gets me is some of our texters are in it. Go get this guy, go get that guy, and we got to realize that other teams are looking at those same players too. Like, it's not just the Mariners are the only team trying to get better here.
No, this is the Mariners trade deadline bump. There's nobody else shopping for players right now. They're all going to stand down and let the Mariners have their
Okay.
It's like executive shopping hours at Costco. You get to get there an hour before everybody else. That's the Mariners, right?
That's the Mariners?
It's not?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's lame. Okay. Well.
Yeah. Well, my sound sheet isn't updated. Go ahead and play that sound if you want to, Curtis.
Okay. Yeah. So the morning show today, Brock and Salk had John Gambadoro, or Gambo, as he's known, down in Phoenix, talking about just who is and who isn't available with the Diamondbacks over the next week and a half, and whether or not the Diamondbacks are even in sellers at this point, especially coming off the weekend that they had. Here was Gambo's assessment on whether the Diamondbacks are buyers or sellers.
I did speak with the Diamondbacks today, and what I could tell you is that even after the sweep, even after sweeping the St. Louis Cardinals, they are still more sellers than buyers. Now, if they sweep the Astros, things may change. The problem is they're 4.5 games out, Brock, but there's 4 teams ahead of them. They've got to pass 4 teams in order to get into a playoff spot with 60 games left. They're devastated with injuries to starting pitching and bullpen. So as of today, even after the sweep, I wanted to know, you swept the Cardinals. Do you think you're more in it now? I'm still being told that they are more sellers than they are buyers. So they could have a field day because they've got about 4 or 5 really good players that they could move for prospects.
So that's good news.
It's good news
for the Mariners.
They selling as of now. What if
It
they
could
go on a
change,
crazy run and you're in the mix? That's what's so tough about the trade deadline is, look, you're trying to project what teams are going to do, where are they trending, what direction are they going, and a team like the Diamondbacks will put you in that gray area because, right now they could be sellers, but they start winning. They sweep the Astros. They make some moves. You're looking at the team a bit different. They might be trying to buy some stuff.
They hold every card right now for the trade deadline. They're the team most in demand of opposing GMs. And you mentioned the series against the Astros. That's going to be huge for them to determine whether or not they could be back in this race in the National League West. Now, if they have success and sweep the Astros today through Wednesday, the next team on the docket is the Pirates, another team that you could see them winning a series against. That is Friday through Sunday as they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates. So potentially the Diamondbacks could go on a run here if they have success against the Astros. Now, that's going to be a lot easier said than done. The 3-game series, though, that the Diamondbacks have leading up to the deadline, which they have the deadline day off, that's Thursday, July 31st, but the 3 games prior to that, a 3-game series in Detroit. So you've got a really tough sandwich of games here. The bottom layer of bread, the Astros, the meat being the Pirates, where you could still see them taking that series, and the top layer of bread being the Detroit Tigers. So not an easy road for the Diamondbacks over the next 9 games before the trade deadline gets here.
No, that's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but you're right, man. They have all the leverage in this situation, and everyone's going to be watching closely. And then I just wonder I wish I knew how Dipoto was at the negotiation table. Like, are you an aggressive type of guy? Do you come in low and try to sneak in that way? What is your strategy at this point? Because all fans want is to know that you are going to try to be aggressive, that you're going to try everything you can to get a bat or maybe an arm as well to make this team better, because we know that that's what they're missing. And you look at this last series, 2 things are still true. You still need a bat and you need a reliever, because now, I mean, when that bullpen opens up and I see a pitcher running out of there, I just get nervous now. I decide not much, unless it's Brash or Munoz, there's not much faith in me in these relievers. So, nothing's changed with the Mariners, though. Bat and reliever.
Right, and I think this Mariners team is just looking at everybody's asking price right now, trying to find out if they will maybe go a little bit lower than what they're asking for. Because, look, the Mariners have the best farm system in baseball, and that is a time where, yes, it works for them in these negotiations, but it might also work against them too, because teams will look at, say, Harry Ford and be like, well, you can absorb that loss if Ford is traded because you have so many other guys in Baseball America's top 100, so many other guys in MLB Pipeline's top 100. you don't have those conversations with teams that are like the Angels, where their farm system is horrible. So it works for the Mariners in some ways, but it also can work against them because teams know that, hey, you can offer up more in return for a Gino Suarez, who Gambo says the Diamondbacks are expecting a lot in return for his services.
Gino is on a tear right now. 2 home runs yesterday, 2 home runs Saturday. He's on pace to hit 57 home runs. Now, the thing is, he just turned 34 years old. He's probably going to get a 3-year deal from somebody for $20 to $25 million a year in free agency. So, but you don't worry about that now. What you worry about is he is the number one target for a lot of teams. The Yankees want him. The Cubs want him. There's Seattle. So you're going to be able to parlay him into some good prospects. We're not talking about a lottery ticket for a guy on an expiring contract, which sometimes happens. We're talking about getting top 10 players in a team's organization, prospect-wise, for Gino Suarez.
Is that something you would give up, Bob, for 2 months of Gino Suarez? Like, it's a tall ask, and the Mariners have largely tried to avoid these rental-type situations, but this may be the key to getting back to the playoffs here.
This is a rental situation that I would explore. And if you've listened to the show over the past 3 seasons, I'm a rental guy. This time of year, I'm thinking, go ahead and get a rental, because I believe that you'll rent this player. Maybe it's Gino. You'll take him out to dinner. You'll remind him what it's like to be in Seattle. The fans are going to show up and love him and embrace him. Then he's going to say, you know what? I actually want to be here. I want to stay here in Seattle. I like rolling the dice when it comes to these rental players because I feel like there's something here. And when I would hope, when this rental player, if he does come over, whoever it is, looks at Julio, looks at Randy, looks at Cal, the rotation, and feels like you can be a part of something special. That's what I'm banking on every year when it comes to this rental stuff.
One interesting thing that I've seen pop up about all these Diamondback hitters that could be available is like, well, they're playing in that microwave of a stadium in Phoenix. There's higher elevation there. The ball flies out of that ballpark a lot more than it does here in Seattle. But my counter is, Gino Suarez has already proven that he can hit in Seattle. He has already proven he can be a productive hitter playing the majority of his games at T-Mobile Park. Like, that should not scare anybody off in terms of reacquiring Gino Suarez. Like, I think that is somebody the Mariners should absolutely make their top priority here at the deadline. Top priority that's not like Ronald Acuna. Obviously, that should be everybody's top priority. But, like, I think Gino Suarez should be the Mariners' number one target. And you have everything that you could possibly want to give up in a deal and still absorb that loss.
So you're down for a rental too?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, more to do when we come back. It's time for our NFC West check-in. This time we're going to L.A. We're going to get visited by J.B. Long, Rams broadcaster. That's next.
MLB Network insider John Morosi every week with Wyman and Bob.
Can they do enough at the trade deadline?
They don't have to necessarily be in first place by the end of July, but you need to show the front office that this team is worth adding to. But they need to show you more from guys who are not named Cal Raleigh. I'd be paying very close attention. Emerson, Young, Celestin, to see who potentially could be the one that they move.
See the full conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Hey friends, Stacy here. Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn is celebrating its 103rd year anniversary, and their biggest sales event of the year is going on right now. Take advantage of their great pricing on new Fords, Isuzus, and commercial vehicles. Also, large discounts on their service and parts departments. What about those of you who want to sell a car? Wayscar Ford's vehicle profit sharing plan is the best deal out there. They purchase your car and pay you right up front. Then, when Wayscar Ford resells your old car, they share 50% of their profit with you. They've already paid back over $800,000 to customers. At Wayscar Ford, there's absolutely no games, no gimmicks, and no pressure. That's backed up by a full 5-day or 500-mile no questions asked return policy on absolutely every vehicle they sell. Change your mind for any reason, bring the vehicle back for a full 100% refund. So if you're like me, you want a good price, a low-key, no-pressure experience, and a full 5-day, 100% satisfaction guarantee, Wayscar Ford is the place to go. Check them out for yourself at wayscarford.com. Wayscarford.com.
Ooh, ma.
What was that?
That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm, I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying forwarded. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. That never happens with Orchard. Disappointing offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. You don't have to settle when you sell with Orchard. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale and helping you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then once you're all settled in, your Orchard agent helps sell your home on market for top dollar. Here's what one Orchard customer said. I never could have sold without Orchard. I made way more than I expected, and it couldn't have been easier. With Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
The countdown is on.
2 more days until Seahawks training camp.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners lost yesterday 11-3 to the Astros, but took the series. The Brewers are in town tonight to start their 3-game series. First pitch is at 6:40. Kirby is on the mound. The Seahawks have released tight end Noah Fant after 3 seasons. The move clears up about $8.9 million in cap space, and Scotty Scheffler wins the Open, making it his 4th major.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross. Here we go now.
It's time now for our NFC West check-in with Rams reporter JB Long on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. JB, what's up, man?
Bump Curtis, good morning. Hope you guys are having a good show.
Good, man. Thanks for joining us. Man. And this is a conversation that I was looking forward to having because everybody, their mom and their dad, their grandma, are picking the Rams to win this division, and I think rightfully so. I mean, look at the additions that you have and then guys coming back. It should be the front runners for this division. Just a quick overlook of what they've done this offseason and what you expect from them.
Everybody and their mom and their grandma must not be on those sports betting apps or be making trips to Vegas because I think the 49ers are the betting favorite. And I think what that's reflective of is their easier path. I think the Niners have one of the, relatively speaking, easiest schedules I've seen in a very long time for a team of their caliber. So that makes sense to me. But I think the flip side is what you're saying, which is the Rams, with their two most recent drafts and Stafford coming back, are built to win now. And I think because of the coach and the quarterback, there's a lot of belief in what they can do, in particular when you consider that they were right there with a chance to knock out what proved to be the Super Bowl champion on their field in Philadelphia on that last drive and came up just short. So I think that's what is shining through largely. But I agree that the Rams are on the short list of contenders. I mean, I think this time of year, that's all you can say is break teams up into tiers of expectations, and I think the Rams are very much a Super Bowl contender, but they play in a division that I think has four bona fide playoff teams. I think all four of the teams in the NFC West come into the season with realistic playoff expectations, and two of those, in particular, LA and San Francisco, should not settle for anything less than championship pursuits.
JB, things are in a much better place between Matthew Stafford and the Rams at this current moment, but at the start of the offseason, it looked like there might be some confusion as to whether or not Stafford would be back. How close did it get to Stafford not returning to LA in this season?
You know, I can't speak specifically to how close, but it felt very real. It felt like for the first time the Rams were prepared and willing to consider football life after Matthew Stafford, and that from the Stafford family standpoint, maybe they wanted to, check out the grass on the other side of the fence and see if indeed it was any greener. It may have been richer. There may have been more money to be had out there, but I think they realized that they couldn't beat the setup that they have personally and professionally. And it's tough to argue with that so long as, Sean McVay is the architect and the play caller, the partnership that he and Matthew have developed through 4 seasons together. And the home that the Staffords have had here in Southern California and continue to for some time, I think it makes a lot of sense to continue this partnership and extend Matthew's prime for as long as possible. Because as long as he's at the switch, I think he's still one of the top 5 throwers of the football walk on the planet, and that gives the Rams a real chance.
What's it been like having Davante Adams around?
Well, I mean, it's germane to this conversation in particular because of who he's replacing, right? And look, I'm a big fan of Cooper Kupp. 15 times a year. I'm going to be rooting for him in Seattle because he's just that type of person, and he's going to be a lifelong Ram. But for this chapter in his career, he's in Seattle now, and I think the Rams have to let that period of mourning go by, and I think Davante Adams will help them do that very quickly starting this week at training camp. In my limited, uninformed, inexpert opinion, Davante's a significant upgrade over Cooper Kupp at this stage of his career. I think Adams and Matthew Stafford are going to make magic, and I think him pairing with Puka Nacua and Tutu Atwell and some others that the Rams have in their portfolio makes a lot of sense. I think the design will look maybe more like it's been intended to in the last couple of years, but something hasn't been right with the Rams offensively. They've not achieved to what you would perceive to be their potential. And I think having a true X like Davante, especially in the red zone, is going to open some things up, is going to help them achieve. And then the other thing that I think it allows them to do is move Puka Nacua around like they have with him and with Cooper Kupp over the years in a way that maybe they hadn't been able to idealize previously. I'm stretching a little bit there. I'm probably out of my depth bump compared to what you know about receiver play. But I'll just kind of put that out there as food for your thought and your discussion in terms of how it pieces together for the 25 receiving core.
JB, Aaron Donald retired, and so we all thought in the NFC West, we don't have to worry about the Rams' D-line anymore. We don't have to worry about their pass rush. And it feels like it's better now than it was in the final years of Aaron Donald's career. So how have they been able to find so many guys in the draft in 23 and in 24 to make this defensive line as big of a force as it has become?
Curtis, you really touched on one of my 30,000-foot view thoughts of the Rams, which is they lost the greatest player in franchise history, and like you said, the pass rush somehow got better. Now they lose a Triple Crown winner, a Super Bowl MVP, one of the great receivers in franchise history, and it's incumbent upon them to get better through the passing game in 2025. So that's kind of just broad strokes challenges for the Rams to become who they think they can be this season. But specific to the pass rush, Jared Verse is still the only first-round draft pick the Rams had made since Jared Goff in 2016, and it showed. He looks like a first-round talent. He played like a first-round talent. For a guy to get 4.5 sacks and be a clear runaway favorite and winner of the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year, I think that speaks to how impactful he was. And by the way, the runner-up right on his tail was his Florida State teammate, Braden Fisk, who I think is going to be a real force in year two and had some of his best moments against the Seattle Seahawks in particular. So, yeah, I'm still not sure how they've done it except through volume and numbers, because it's no knock on Aaron to say you're right. Their pass rush collectively improved even with that gravitational force removed from the equation.
Hey, I'm just looking at your draft class. Terrence Ferguson was the first pick in the second round for the Los Angeles Rams. Over here, we're expecting a few of these guys to make some noise this rookie class. How dependent is this team going to be on some of these young guys, if at all?
Yeah, hopefully not as much. And that's what the last couple of years have done, is there's been a ton of opportunity for college players to come in and play starting meaningful roles for this Rams offense and defense. I think this is more supplementation, bolstering special teams, lengthening your roster, adding some depth. But Ferguson's probably rightly the one that was chosen first to improve what was the least productive tight end room in the National Football League last year. For the Rams to have gotten as far as they did without Tyler Higbee, who didn't join them until deep in December, made a huge difference upon his return, is I think a real testament to how much they just fought through adversity on offense. Ferguson, I think, has some vertical ability. I think he has some elevation and jump ball ability. I think he will help in the red zone. But it's really difficult for me to envision a rookie tight end impacting the Sean McVay offense. It just hasn't happened consistently. It's one of the toughest positions, as you know, to learn and to leverage in the National Football League. So there's plenty of options there, including former Seahawk Colby Parkinson, who had a disappointing year one in Los Angeles. I do think you'll see some more two tight end sets from the 2025 Los Angeles Rams. But that group, that room collectively has to elevate, and I still think it starts primarily with Tyler Higbee, and Ferguson will be used strategically in a limited package basis, I would assume.
JB, we talked a little bit about Cooper Kupp earlier, but when you got to watch him over the last 3 years after that phenomenal 2021 season where, he set every receiving record known to man pretty much, did it ever look to you like he had lost a step when he was in the lineup, or was it just the injuries that were keeping him from having those highly productive years that we saw from him pre-2021?
I think it's yes in both. It's tough for me to tease out. Only Cooper Kupp and the sports performance staff really knows the chicken and the egg there. We know he's on the wrong side of 30. We know that he's paid a heavy toll for his usage rate in the National Football League, and especially in recent years. I mean, I forget the exact stat, but this guy's running like miles of pre-snap motion in the last couple of years. They move him all around the formation, and so his conditioning had to be elite. And unfortunately, he was dealt some bad breaks, including in week 2 last year at Arizona. What I struggle with, Curtis, and what I'll be curious to see all around here in Los Angeles and there in Seattle is clearly in 2021, he and Matthew were inseparable. Like, they had a mind meld going on. It was basically a two-man game winning the Super Bowl. And that deteriorated somehow. I'm not saying their relationship deteriorated. I'm saying their on-field connection was off. Balls were off target. They were overthrown, underthrown, and whether that's quarterback or receiver or a lost step or lost time on task and lost reps because of injury, it could be a combination of all those things. I just know that with a healthy offseason last summer for Cooper Kupp, my expectations were that even at his quote-unquote advanced age, he was once again going to become one of the elite receivers in the National Football League because he and Stafford had the chance to be locked in again. And there were glimpses, there were moments, especially middle of the season when he and Puka both came back from injury, but across a 17-game slate, it wasn't the same, and it probably, understandably, was never going to be what it was in 2021.
Hey, how close do you think the Rams were to reuniting with Jalen Ramsey? And what are your thoughts on the secondary? The box gets a lot of love, and they should. All right, those big boys are eating. But what are your thoughts on the secondary, too?
Yeah, I think it was real. I think they have a real affinity for Jalen Ramsey. What he did here in Los Angeles was truly elite cornerback play, and because of his size and positional strength, he also has some longevity in the back end, right? I think there was a real role where they moved him from corner to star, and I think there's even been talk from his camp, and certainly I remember when he was in LA about, is there like a late stage chapter at safety? So this organization having the willingness and the flexibility to reimagine the role that Jalen Ramsey can play in a defense, I think has meant great things to him as a player, and conversely attributed a lot of success from Jalen Ramsey to the Rams during his time here. The part that you can't always align is the contract that he was working with, and I don't think that number that he was carrying out of Miami fit with where the Rams are. Now, had they had more advanced notice that he was going to be available this offseason and that somehow that breakdown with McDonald would happen in Miami, okay, maybe then there's a different conversation. But I think it was more of a aspiration, a wish, a desire that just didn't quite fit the budget than maybe an actual reality. And I'll finish by saying I think a lot of people were flabbergasted that the Rams did not make a move at defensive back, either through free agency or a trade or even the draft. But they do have numbers back there, and I think intuitively what they have to be banking on, Bump, is one, interior improvement, right? Like just getting better with more time on task for these players, and then also covering for some aging corners like Darius Williams and Nikela Witherspoon and some young up-and-comers by virtue of a dominant pass rush. Those things going hand in hand, rush and cover. If the Rams are over-indexed on rushers and under-indexed on corners, I think in balance they're hoping that they can control opposing passing games.
JB, last one from me. We've gone through every team in the NFC West now. Rams were last one. So I've been asking this question of everybody we've had on. Is there a stretch of the schedule you're looking at as pretty crucial to the Rams' overall success in 2025?
Yeah, I mean, the first month. It's improbable. It's historic what the Rams have done the last couple of seasons, following 1-4, I think, and going 3 games below 500 at their bye week the last 2 years and rallying to win 10 games, a division last year, playoffs both years, a playoff win in the wild card. Like, that doesn't happen. And so everybody wants to start fast. The Rams in particular are saying they have to start faster. But I think it's poignant for this reason. One, to do it 3 years in a row is truly unprecedented. It is just factually not going to happen. And the other thing is they've kind of dodged the trade deadline these last couple of years. And with an aging upper crust of the roster and a really competitive NFC West, if they don't pile up wins early, if they are at or below 500 come November, I think there's going to have to be a real serious look at what do we do with some of our top paid eldest assets, because on draft day, they traded back with Atlanta to get out of that first round. They bought themselves an extra 2026 first-round draft pick by moving back 20 spots. And that's an asset that they can deploy now, next week, next month, or anytime before the trade deadline. But if not, if they don't use it as a way to go all in and compete right now with Matthew Stafford and this chapter of their roster, I think there's another world that exists that I don't want to embrace here in July, where it's, hey, we're not going to tear it down, but we can quick pivot. We can retool on the fly because we have 2 first-round draft picks next year, and we are looking at what is supposed to be a really, really good quarterback class, coming through the draft next year.
He's Rams broadcaster JB Long. JB, appreciate your time, man.
Thanks, JB.
All right, Curtis and Bump, have a good rest of your show. Thanks as always for the invitation. I cannot wait to get up there to Seattle again this year.
Let's do it. JB, my man. I'm sad, man. I'm not going to work with him this year.
Oh, man.
He's moving on bigger and better things. Oh. So I'm not calling a game with him this year. But we'll meet again.
He's leaving
JB.
you in the dust?
We'll meet again, JB.
I mean, we'll cross paths.
We'll cross paths again. All right, let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
Bump, first down to you. We've got a situation on our hands with the Bengals. So what do you make of the mess that's going on in Cincinnati right now?
Man, I keep reading article after article about this situation, and their owner says, look, Trey Henderson, you're under contract. We expect you to be at training camp. If I were the owner, I wouldn't take that approach. I'd be like, hey, Trey, we hope that you're there. We want to work something out. You got to finesse the situation. And then with Shamar Stewart, now they're getting his agent involved and saying, we're not mad at Shamar Stewart. We're mad that he's getting horrible advice. So I just read a couple articles, and just the whole feeling around this situation just feels sticky. It feels bad. It feels like the Bengals owner has to be the adult in this situation. The GM have to be the adult and understand that you have to deal with these players' egos. As jacked up as it may sound, right? You should say, or some people are saying that Shamar Stewart should just be grateful to get drafted in the NFL, show up to work. If he doesn't like the language in the contract, he's allowed to not like the language in the contract. Trey Henderson, they're saying he's under contract. He needs to show up and get to camp. Look, he's 31. This is his last chance to really get some money. He had 17 and a half sacks last year. There was somebody on the text line that said, Trey Henderson's going downhill. Well, 2 years with over 30 sacks isn't downhill to me. All right. Now he might slow down a step or two. He is in his 30s, but this man has been productive, and he should want to capitalize on that. So Cincinnati, I don't know. Figure it out. You're not my team, but I'm watching from afar.
Second down. All right, Bump. Noah Fant's no longer here in Seattle, so what do you expect from the tight end room going forward?
I don't know what to expect. That's the crazy part, Curtis. I think A.J. Barner can take a step forward. I think with more reps, more playing time, he'll get better. I think Arroyo will be one of the gadget players, like I mentioned last week, move him around, get him the football. But it feels like this group just needs a veteran to kind of show them how to be a pro to lead the way. A.J. Barner entering this will be his second year in the NFL. Arroyo with his first year. You just need an old head in the room. Every now and then you need a 28 to 30-year-old just to kind of show these guys the ropes or whatnot. But if they do live up to expectations, I think this could be one of the better tight end duels in the game. You mentioned Mark Andrews and likely over there with Baltimore, a nice 1-2 combo. Dalton Kincaid and I forget the other tight end with the Bills. They have a nice combo over there. Knox. Yeah, Knox. It's rare that you have a tight end combo, right? You always talk about the outside and the receiver. So I think there's a lot of potential with this group, and they could be explosive, and I'm excited to see how Kubiak is going to use them. Noah Fant not being there, I just see reps. More reps for these guys, more chances to develop. It could be something special, but you don't know until you get out there.
Third down. Bob, who has the most to lose and gain this year for the Seahawks?
We already talked about him. Reek Woolen. Like, if Reek Woolen goes out and has a Pro Bowl type of season, we just saw who get paid $30 million a year. I forgot who it was. It was a DB.
Sauce Gardner?
Sauce. $30 million a year. I don't think Reek is going to get $30 million a year. But if he goes out, has a Pro Bowl type of season, looks like the guy we saw that rookie year, he could make himself $18 to $22 million a year. And this team needs him to be that type of player. I think on the other side of the football, you feel okay with the situation. With the secondary in general, the biggest question mark, I think, is Reek Woolen, just because he's been inconsistent. If he doesn't have that Pro Bowl type of year, then he's going to lose about $8 to $10 million. So this is going to be big for him, and I want him to ball out. I always want success for players. It's going to cost the Seahawks a whole bunch of money if he does, but it's what's best for the team. So Reek Woolen has the most to gain and lose this year because he could get paid.
Fourth down. All right, Bump, we just wrapped up our NFC West check-ins with JB Long of the Rams. Anything stand out to you from our conversation?
Yeah, a couple things. I love JB, but man, he said Adams is a significant upgrade in Cooper Kupp, and he's probably right. he's seen the best and the worst of Cooper Kupp. I think Cooper Kupp is being injured, and you talk about the chemistry, the lack of chemistry with Matthew Stafford. That perked him up a little bit. He also said he doesn't expect a rookie tight end to make a huge impact in a Sean McVay offense when referring to Ferguson. The reason why that perked me up is because this Kubiak offense resembles the Sean McVay's offense. Now, they're different in ways, of course, but they resemble each other. So is it fair for us to say to Nasser Royal to be that guy at the tight end spot? Thankfully, got A.J. Barner over here as well. But no, that one kind of got me going because, there's going to be a lot of responsibility on these tight ends. Kubiak plays with 2 tight ends 65% of the time last year with the Saints, so you're going to see both of those guys out there. How quickly can they bring Arroyo along? How quickly can A.J. Barner learn this offense? He's only a second-year guy. Again, going back to my second down, that's why I think it's good that they go out and they find themselves a veteran tight end to kind of show these guys the ropes. But, yeah, that one didn't get me worried a bit, but I'm thinking, all right, well, what should we expect from these young guys if you don't expect your young guy to perform at a high level in a similar offense? This is interesting, man. Interesting.
It is, yeah. And, I mean, that Rams team has gotten a lot of value out of their lower draft picks. And looking at Ferguson and him being a second-round tight end just in the same way that Elijah Arroyo was, you'd think that he would have higher expectations, especially considering what Jared Verse has done, what Braden Fisk has done, Kobe Turner. Like, they have had a lot of recent success with guys, not just in the first round with Verse, but also guys in like the second and third round, because that's all that they've been picking. They don't usually use their first round pick, and I have a hard time thinking that Ferguson doesn't contribute in a meaningful way in 2025. I think he ends up probably starting at least by season's end, at least coming close.
Especially when, they run those 2 tight end sets too.
Yeah.
You got Higbee over there, Colby Parkinson, who JB said had a disappointing season. There's going to be opportunity for Ferguson to do his thing, and I like him. He's a good ball player. Unfortunately, he went to Oregon, but I forgive him. He's in a league now. But no, he's an explosive type of tight end, and I think over the next few years, we're going to see the tight end position just change. We're already seeing it change, right? These guys are way more explosive than they were 10 years ago. They're moving different. They're training different. I think the tight end position might be that next position to where they get that big bump. Remember, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, maybe less than that, receivers just got a big bump in pay.
Yeah.
I think tight ends are going to be next
Christian
up.
Kirk.
Yeah, Christian Kirk. Where's he at now?
I think he's out of the league, if I'm not mistaken, or
I think he was released. Yeah, Christian Kirk. Got your money, though.
He changed a lot of people's lives with signing that contract.
I ain't mad at you, Christian. Thank you for all the receivers. All right, coming up next, we will hit the timeline. Man, the Huskies, they could have been better in 2023. We got some MLB conspiracy theories as well. That and more timeline next on the Bump and Stacy Show.
It's one of the most pivotal stretches for the Mariners this season, with just 10 days till the trade deadline.
Mariners plan for the trade deadline.
Obviously, the biggest question, our buddy Jeff Passan, who are the best bats available? It's Gino and it's Naylor.
It would make this team right there with every other team that has World Series aspirations.
Stay plugged in as the Mariners approach the trade deadline on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Walking away from an interaction with a customer that says, I can't believe how easy this was. I can't thank you enough for helping me.
Our strategy with pricing is not to be the highest price and not to be the lowest price, but to be a really good price and to provide a really good experience to the customer.
Yeah, I have a ton of really memorable customers. Afterwards, to thank us, he sent us this beautiful basket of candies and fruits and stuff. It was just really sweet. It felt like we were truly helping.
Receiving a handwritten letter that's personalized to a salesperson or service advisor or a technician expressing gratitude, and then taking that home and sharing that with your family and hanging that on your refrigerator, that's the difference.
You hear it from one person, and then another, and another. You come to realize it's not a script, it's a belief. The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Cool
people, good times. The Good Guys 37th Griot's Garage Pacific Northwest Nationals presented by Wicked Fabrications. July 25th through the 27th at the Washington State Fair Event Center. Over 2,500 classics. An earth-shaking Nitro Thunder Fest. Tire smoke and burnout competition. And don't miss Good Guys Friday night vintage drags at Pacific Raceways in Kent. All this weekend at the Washington State Fair Event Center in Puyallup. Details at good-guys.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. Had a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
Are you worried about economic conditions, tariffs, and inflation? Are you tired of trying to time the stock market? Maybe it's time to take a little risk off the table given current market volatility. For stability, there's no better option than Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, a fixed return of 9%. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 18 years with zero investor losses, averaging double-digit returns since inception, and we also accept IRAs. Over 1,000 local investors have invested over $250 million in our Legacy family of funds. Feeling uneasy? Don't gamble your hard-earned money or risk your retirement. Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, returning 9%, has limited openings for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or visit LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Legacy investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Dave Wyman here for Harley Exteriors. When you hear Harley Exteriors, I want you to think windows manufactured right here in Washington and specifically designed for our Pacific Northwest homes and climate. These are the windows you want. They look absolutely stunning, much better than a traditional vinyl window, and they're going to lower your energy bills and provide year-round comfort. They also come with a double lifetime fully transferable warranty, meaning not only are you covered for glass breaking or damaged seals, it's going to help your resale and home value. These windows last up to 60 years. Harley Exteriors is making these windows affordable with options like zero payments and zero interest up to 12 months for qualified buyers. In July, Harley Exteriors is offering 50% off basic installation, no payments, no interest for 12 months, and an additional $200 off your project. Think Harley Exteriors for windows, doors, and more right here in the Puget Sound. Call 833-HARLEY or just go to harleyexteriors.com.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
This is The Timeline on the Bump and Stacy show. Open your phone, go on X, you might see some of this. Hey, did you know that I was actually really close to considering UW.
To considering them?
I mean,
listen,
I considered, and then when Newhousel got canned, I was like, all right, I'm gonna move on. Yeah. So instead of them going 0-12 that one year, with me, you would have won at least one game.
One game, yeah.
Would have won at least one game.
For sure.
But with Brock Bowers in 2023, that team could have been something special. He was so close to choosing UW out of high school.
Who was it coming down to? Was Georgia always kind of the lead dog?
It was kind of like Georgia and Washington, University of Washington.
Yeah. Why Washington?
Duo. Yeah, I don't know. Well, it was just because it was kind of a little bit closer to home. I mean, they had some decent tight ends coming through, and I really liked the coaching staff there. So it was kind of like toss-up. But like, I was kind of weighing my options. I was like, I don't really know if I want to be in Seattle.
They have a cool game day atmosphere.
Yeah, to sit with the boats.
The boats tailgating. Their stadium's loud for not like holding, you know what I mean, like 80, 100,000 fans.
The Northwest, for whatever reason, like does football games in a very unique but loud and cool culture.
Washington goes hard, man.
Washington, Oregon. Washington goes hard. I mean, the Seahawks, that whole area goes crazy.
I hate how cool Husky Stadium is. It's right on the wall. You can't even front. That scene is crazy. But Brock Bowers, if he would have went, he would have been with Roma Dunze, Michael Penix, that offensive line.
So
that would have been cheating.
That Washington team had Penix and Odunze go 8 and 9. They had Troy Fautanu go 20th in that draft. So that's 3 first-rounders. Bowers would have gone in the middle of that. He went 13th to the Raiders. On top of that, you mentioned the wide receiver room. You had Jalen Polk, a second-round pick. You had Jalen McMillan. I believe he was a second-round pick, too, of the Bucks. Like, you had a stupid amount of talent already on the offensive side of the ball on that 2023 team. And then you could have added who ESPN ranked as the best tight end in the game after just one season. There's no way that Husky team loses a game. There's no way they lose that national championship if Brock Bowers is catching passes. I had never heard that before. I didn't even realize that Bowers was down to Georgia and Washington. Now, people are like, why would he pick schools on the opposite ends of the country? He's from California originally.
Yeah.
It's funny, he talks with a fake Southern accent now. You could hear it in that clip. All those years spent in Georgia. He's from Napa, California.
It'd be like that.
He's from wine country.
I used to go to Mississippi every summer, and I come back saying some stuff. My boys be like, what are you talking about? I go, yeah, I need to adjust. I'm back here. But that UW team, that it feels like that's all they were missing was just a baller at the tight end spot.
Yeah, you had Jack Westover, who he was good.
He was good.
He was good, but not Brock Bowers. That's for sure.
No, that's crazy. UW, that one hurts. It's all right though. All right, next
I don't mind it,
yeah. I mean, I feel for you, but do I?
Jalen McMillan was a 3rd-round pick 92. But he would have had 6 guys taken in the first 100 picks.
Crazy,
stupid,
crazy. That team. Look, I know I'm a cool, but that team was super talented. But they were fun to watch. All right, you want a new baseball conspiracy theory, Curtis? All right, former Mariners D. Strange Gordon. That is a name for you. Alleges MLB suspended him for PEDs in 2016 as punishment for not letting Bryce Harper win the 2015 batting title on the last day of the season.
So look, I got suspended in 16 for steroids. Look at me, King. It look like I took steroids.
Well, ain't no way.
Okay.
Right, I'm about to say, ain't 165. Ain't no way. He said 165.
Let me tell y'all, I ain't gonna say no name or nothing, but let me just put it like this. 2015, they told my little black don't win that batting championship. And I said, y'all got me.
Damn, so you went out there and said, I'm gonna go get this little championship, this trophy.
And they said, don't do it.
Was it like a money thing for them?
Nah, it was a guy. I ain't gonna say his name. He would have won Triple Crown if I let him win the batting title. The last day of the season, I beat him for the batting title. I went 3 for 4 with a home run. I ain't saying I ain't.
King can say it. I mean, it'll be easy.
If it's what I'm thinking of, then he won MVP that year.
They didn't like that.
They called me a week before. They
didn't like that.
And I was like, man, I'm from Avon Park, bro.
You hear me? He said, I'm from Avon Park.
I didn't realize D. Gordon had such a heavy Southern accent. 1.
Yeah.
And 2, he's 166 pounds.
He's a little guy.
Ain't no PED. He's going on with them. Guy. You believe that? What do you think?
A part of me wants to. A part of me really wants to believe in this conspiracy theory. I thought the punishment for not acquiescing to Bryce Harper and winning the batting title in 2015, a steroid punishment, a PED punishment that's 80 games, that seems ridiculous.
Yeah,
like I don't think that is part of this story. But I do think maybe Major League Baseball is like, hey, man, like, we've got potential history here if Bryce Harper does win this batting title. Like, a Triple Crown MVP is a lot more memorable than, like, D. Strange Gordon had a really good career in Major League Baseball. Didn't have a ton of success here in Seattle, but had a really good career. But history would have remembered that season a lot more if Bryce Harper had won the Triple Crown. I will say D. Strange Gordon, very nice guy, did a really cool thing for my sister years ago. And so I will always support him in all these things. But I don't know, man. I don't think the PED suspension was part of this. I think maybe you took a supplement or two that was a little bit tainted.
Maybe ate something that you weren't supposed to eat.
Exactly.
It happens that way sometimes. No, I don't think it went down like that. But that's a heck of a story. That's a story he's going to tell his grandkids, and it's going to live forever.
Yeah, they suspended me because I was too good.
I was nice. I was nice out there. All right, next up on the timeline, Ronald Acuna made one of the best throws I've seen.
High and deep to right. Over toward the line, Acuna's got it. Tagging from second is Bebas. Whoa! They got him! Are you kidding me? A frozen rope. Bebas cannot believe it.
So that throw was so deep. The base runner wasn't even going hard. He's like, there's no way.
He stood up going into third base.
No way he's going to catch me. On a rope, on a line. Man, that was fun to watch.
Acuna caught that in the deep right field corner.
Yeah.
Didn't crow hop, just caught it, then turned, threw flat-footed, a no-hop all the way to third base, got him out. People were talking about this is like Bo Jackson. This is like Ichiro. This is like Yoenis Cespedes. I think this was better than all of those. Like, this was jaw-dropping to watch. I replayed it probably 10 to 15 times. Just could not believe what my eyes were seeing. And it got people thinking, like, really? You would not give up Harry Ford for this guy? Are you kidding me? Can Harry Ford do that? I don't think he can. I don't think anybody can on this planet other than Ronald Acuna. That guy was he's building a lab, and Braves fans are lucky to have him.
I tore my UCL watching that. It's gone. Like, that was
Shoulder,
all arm.
Arm coming out of the socket.
He barely got his lower body involved in that throw, man. That was fun to watch. And then it had you bring up another throw. What were you watching this morning when I walked in?
Cameron of SeattleSports.com, Cameron Van Til and I, we were looking at old throws. There was one made by Ramon Laureano when he was with the A's. He threw Mariners first base coach, then LA Angel Eric Young Jr. out. It was a ball hit into the left center field gap. Laureano runs it down on the warning track, and he throws a no-hop from deep left center field all the way back to first base to get Eric Young Jr., who thought the ball was going to land, and he was turning second, already headed to third. No-hops it from left center field all the way to first base. I think it said it traveled in the air like 330 feet or something.
It's crazy.
Ridiculous.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Next up on the timeline, a New York City pawn shop owner has pleaded guilty to buying and selling luxury items stolen from Joe Burrow's home.
Don't be buying stolen goods. Don't be reselling them either.
That's pawn shop. That happens all the time at a pawn shop.
Right, exactly. If you're going to find stolen goods, a pawn shop is the place to go.
I wonder what exactly he sold. Like, there had to be something with his name on it, a signature or something like that.
That's a dead giveaway if, like, a jersey or something of a player is at a pawn shop. It's like, where'd you get this from?
And how did he make it all the way to New York?
That's a good question, too. Now, Ohio is, I believe, borders the state of New York. But
does it?
Cincinnati is nowhere really near New York City. So that jersey had to travel or not jersey, but just whatever it was that ended up at the pawn shop. That had to travel quite a bit away. It said the value of the items stolen at Joe Burrow's house were valued at around $300,000. This was part of another burglary ring that involved Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Luka Doncic, and Mike Conley of the Minnesota Timberwolves. So there was 5 guys who all got their houses hit up in the sort of the Midwest part of the country.
Man,
very reminiscent to what happened here with Luis Castillo, Julio Rodriguez, Richard Sherman. There were a couple other people in there Blake Snell was another one.
Yeah.
Just stop messing with people's stuff.
Stop
That's
stealing.
that's their livelihoods. That's their house. That should be your safe spot.
I'd have to move. I'd be like, man, they got access to this place. I'm out of here. All right, that was the timeline. The Seahawks roster. Where do they rank? ESPN has their 2025 roster rankings. Where do the Seahawks fall? Hey, how about you text it in? What do you think? Without cheating, text in where do you think they rank, all right? 866-979-3776. We'll tell you exactly where they rank next.
MLB Network insider John Morosi every week with Wyman and Bob.
Can they do enough at the trade deadline?
They don't have to necessarily be in first place by the end of July, but you need to show the front office that this team is worth adding to. But they need to show you more from guys who are not named Cal Raleigh. I'd be paying very close attention. Emerson, Young, Celestin to see who potentially could be the one that they move.
See the full conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Being the new kid in high school is hard. I didn't know if I would be accepted or if I'd fit in, because being known is key to who we are. Hi, I'm Peyton Seal. When I first came to King Schools, I knew something was different. My teachers cared about me. I have community. I'm learning who God called me to be.
Sign up for a tour today, and if you enroll, just mention this ad and pay no application fee. Visit joinkings.org for more info. That's joinkings.org, building resilient disciples of Christ through Christian education for 75 years.
This summer, make sure your roof is ready for the season ahead with a company you can trust, like 3 Tree Roofing. We're not just your roofers, we're your neighbors, and we're here to help you protect your home this season. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free on-site estimate and get your roof replaced before the summer rush and potential material price increases. Our certified technicians make your roof replacement easy and worry-free, so you can focus on the important things this summer. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free, no-pressure estimate. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Did you know that most people wait 6 or 7 years before they buy a new TV? That's a lot of time in front of one TV. So why not get one of the best sets for the next 7 years, like one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony models? Too expensive? What if you could get up to $1,000 trade-in for your old set? Who would do a stupid deal like this? Right now, at Video Only, you can get big bucks for your old set as a trade-in and a hot price on the new models. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only.
Upgrade your view and comfort with Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Buy one window or door, get the second at 50% off through July, and enjoy 12 months same as cash financing. For details, visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Are you road trip ready? Bucky's Complete Auto Repair will make your car safe and dependable with expert service and old-fashioned care. Brakes, oil change, factory service, and more. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Bucky's.com.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips, so we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Want to cut your home energy bills, breathe cleaner air, and improve comfort? The answer, AeroSeal from Home Comfort Alliance. This advanced process seals leaks in your ductwork, improving efficiency and air quality. Normally $2,500. Right now, for PSC customers, get AeroSeal for as little as $99 when they install a furnace or heat pump. Plus, save up to 25% on remaining 2024 heat pumps and air conditioners from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Between his hobbies and decades of work in a boatyard, Philip had put his body through a lot.
I'm an avid fly fisherman and an avid skier. It takes its toll.
Not to mention one other thing.
I had a near-fatal motorcycle accident. Absolutely obliterated my lower left leg again.
Philip couldn't live with the pain anymore, so he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
Listening to all these radio spots, I said, what do I got to lose?
What was your experience like with Dr. Wagner?
What I was so impressed with Mark about is that how often you have a surgery like this, and the guy calls you the next day to see how you're doing. I can't say enough good things about the guy, honestly.
And how are you feeling now?
I have no pain, none. Zero.
Wow. So would you recommend stem cell therapy to others?
I'm a fan, believe me. I'd recommend it to anybody.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Rankings, and more lists. That's what we do during the off season. That's what ESPN does, and we tell them how horribly wrong they are. All right, but sometimes they get it right.
That's right.
So
every list has been just an abomination to the list community.
So they started listing or ranking the best rosters, right? The best rosters in the NFL. Right. I'm going to give you the best one, then I'll give you the worst one.
Okay.
Did you guys text in? All right, 866-979-3776. What do you think? What do you think the Seahawks roster ranking is going to be? So the best roster in the game, according to ESPN, the Baltimore Ravens. Okay. You got Lamar Jackson. You got Mark Andrews over there. The X Factor. Ronnie Staley is the left tackle. Biggest weakness, they say. Where's on the left side of the line? And who they add? They just picked up somebody. Who they pick up? DB. Was it Alexander?
Jair Alexander.
Yeah. So you know what they got there. They got Derrick Henry as well. That roster is stacked. Okay. The worst roster in the game, the New Orleans Saints, and I think that's pretty good. Okay. You don't have a quarterback over there. You do have Kamara and Olave. It's just not good in New Orleans.
So we know who's the best. We know who's the worst.
Right.
The Seahawks will fall somewhere in between.
Somewhere between there. So far on the text line.
Are they closer to the Ravens than they are to the Saints?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say Seahawks maybe like 17th.
17. All right, text lines, we got 19. We got 18. We got 24. 21. Another 18. The Seahawks have the 20th best roster in the game right now. Do you agree or disagree with that? According to ESPN.
According to them, it's funny because the biggest strength that they have listed is interior defensive line. And was it Pro Football Focus that had the Seahawks defensive line as like a bottom third in the NFL, something ridiculous like that? I am more in line with ESPN in terms of what the biggest strength is for the Seahawks. I think that defensive line has a lot of interchangeable parts, and I think they're all really good. Their biggest weakness, offensive line. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody that has watched Seahawks football for the last 13, 14 years or so. X Factor, Cooper Kupp. We heard from Bill Barnwell last week that was a guy who he thinks is going to have a big influence on how this Seahawks offense ultimately plays in 2025. And then a non-starter to know, DeMarcus Lawrence. who won't be starting for them, at least it doesn't look like, but he could be a nice little rotation piece for them coming off a productive season, but he only played 4 games. That ended his 2024 year. I'm looking at sort of the expectations for the Seahawks team bump 20th right now. That would put you probably between like a 7 to 8 win range. I think the Seahawks can outperform 20. I think they can. Yeah. I think of all the teams kind of around them, look at like New England at 21. Do you think New England in their best season in 2025 ends up in the playoffs?
Probably not. That division is tough. They did add Stephon Diggs over there, so we'll see what that looks like. But no, I don't. The quarterback situation too. I think that's tough, man, because you look at Drake May, the way he finished last year. Dude was balling. Obviously, he has more potential than Sam Darnold just because of where he was drafted and just his age alone. But no, I don't look at the New England situation and think that we're the same. Like we are close. No, I think you can expect the Seahawks to make the playoffs. Now, 3 games in, 4 games in, we see where they are, then your thoughts might change a little bit. But just going into this season, I expect the Seahawks to make the playoffs. I don't expect the Patriots to make the playoffs.
It's funny, the teams that are really close to the Seahawks on this list, the team that's right above them, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the team that has added all these big names. DK Metcalf says, sometimes the grass is greener elsewhere. Buddy, based off of these rankings, you're in maybe the exact same spot you were in.
Yeah.
You just got paid a little bit more. At 23, this is going to be an interesting one to watch, Bump. The Las Vegas Raiders, the team that Geno Smith and Pete Carroll have gone to. And I think a lot of people looked at that move and they were like, oh my gosh, like the Raiders are going to be so improved this season. They're going to be way better than what they were a year ago. But like, are Pete Carroll and Geno Smith stepping into a better situation in Vegas than what they already had in Seattle? Now, I get that Geno's was basically chose to be in Vegas. Pete, I think if he had his say, would much rather be in Seattle to finish out his career rather than Vegas. But like, it would not shock me if the Seahawks had a better record than the Raiders at the end of the season.
No, not at all. I think for Pete Carroll, Las Vegas was like a passion project, like a startup, I'm going to give this one more go.
2-3 years.
Yeah, I'm going to set you up. I'm going to set you guys up. I'm going to show you how to run an organization, and we'll let you go. As far as Geno making the move, it was just, look, man, my homie's starting up this company. I like him. I support him. He supported me when I started my company. Let me go join him, and he's going to pay me. I don't think anyone in Las Vegas expects these guys to be contenders, even in their division. I mean, the Broncos are going to be better with Bo Nix second year. Kansas City, you know who that is. The Chargers still need to make some noise. Justin Herbert needs to prove that he's a top 10 quarterback. Physically, I think he is, but he needs a few more accolades. No, this is a startup. This is a startup, and Geno and Pete Carroll are both there to kind of help them get going and then hopefully hand off the reins to someone else, and then they continue to grow.
Yeah, other teams around the Seahawks, the Jags at 22, in their best season, they could probably sneak into the playoffs just because the AFC South is not a murderer's row of teams at all. I think Jacksonville could find themselves in the playoffs if everything goes right for them here in 2025. The Cowboys, a team that have always grabbed headlines, they're only at 18th. And outside of George Pickens, what did they really do to improve themselves this season? I think they're just kind of maybe waiting on guys to get healthy again. Dak, Micah Parsons will play hopefully most of the season. Trevon Diggs is back. That's an interesting one to me, Bump, at 18, because I feel like if they all kind of play to their card, then I think the Cowboys could still be a good team this year.
I mean, they're my sleeper team. I think regular season play, Cowboys are good. And once Dak is healthy, or he is healthy, he's back. You added George Pickens, they should be okay. Here's the bad news about this list. Rams at 8, Niners at 10.
Ooh, I don't like that.
But
I don't like that.
I don't like it, but I think we expected it, right?
Yeah.
The Rams roster is crazy. We talked about the defensive line. Just spoke to JB Long, their broadcast, the broadcast team. The Niners are going to get healthy. You got George Kittle, of course.
Here's a weird one. Broncos at 6.
Yeah, I saw that.
That would mean they're an AFC contender. I don't think the Broncos are going to be that. in 2025.
I think a lot of that has to do with their quarterback. That young man did play some decent ball last year. What did they say? Their biggest weakness is wide receiver at this point. You're going to need wide receivers. And their biggest strength is offensive line. So, I think with the quarterback and that offensive line, they're looking at what he did last year, how he finished, and they're saying he could make some moves. X Factor is a Mims. So we shall see. But no, I love these lists. Even if I don't agree with them, I still like them because they're great conversations, and we get to pick them apart. All right, when we come back, we'll be joined by ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. That's next on the Bump and Stacy Show.
The clack of the cleats. The sounds of summer drifting off Lake Washington. Green 18. These sounds of summer are the prelude to the symphony of fall and winter. Football season is coming. Just 2 more days until Seahawks training camp begins.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men, too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat-freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
America's favorite car show is back. It's the Good Guys 37th Griot's Garage Pacific Northwest Nationals, presented by Wicked Fabrication. All this weekend at the Washington State Fair Event Center. Over 2,500 of the Northwest's finest hot rods, muscle cars, and trick trucks. Shop the Fender Big Way. A free family fun zone, great live music, Saturday night twilight cruising, and so much more. All this weekend at the Washington State Fair Event Center in Puyallup. Details at good-guys.com.
This is my life. This is my family's life. The people that work here, they're my family. When something's not right with them, it's not right with us.
We get notifications every time we get a review. And I said, how do you not let it eat you up? Sometimes I feel so responsible. And his answer was, I just look at it as an opportunity. We need that feedback to learn and to do better. I'm grateful for the feedback.
Big part of sales is the relationship aspect. People want to do business with someone they can trust, who's a real person. They don't feel like you're just going after their money. And when you take the time to get to know them, get to know their needs, not be a car salesman, but be a consultant, then they feel more comfortable with you, and the experience is better on both sides.
It's not about closing deals. It's about opening relationships, helping people make the right choice. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
This week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to my friend Brock Heward. Brock, why did you call First Mark?
Brandy, it is so good to talk to you. It's been too long, and we made that call. And the only bummer is we waited too long. I know you hear from people that you talk to as well as I do to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. I just wish we would have done it earlier. You know, Brandy, the word that comes to my mind is a word I use on my sports show a lot, and that is connective tissue. It's important in team building. It's important to players in a locker room to be connected to others. And when it comes to insurance, it's so complicated. It's stressful, and you just don't even want to deal with it. And that's where the connective tissue of having a pro, having a broker, having a partner, and most of all, having a teammate like First Mark Insurance was the best connective tissue we could find.
Brock did it. My family did it. You got to do it. It's free. Take the First Mark Challenge. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
So why don't you speed? I've had one too many close calls on the road, and then I learned the facts.
It's dangerous to drive too fast.
It's true. 1 in 3 fatal crashes involve speeding.
Most people try to be safe, but speeding is dangerous.
You know, the faster you go, the longer it takes to stop.
The faster you drive, the harder you'd hit someone. Slower speeds save lives.
Please drive the speed limit so everyone is safe. Learn more at togetherwegetthere.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Oh, I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners lost yesterday 11-3 to the Astros, but took the series. The Brewers are in town tonight to start their 3-game series. First pitch is at 6:40. Kirby is on the mound. The Seahawks have released tight end Noah Fant after 3 seasons. The move clears up about $8 million in cap space, and Scotty Scheffler wins the Open, making it his 4th major.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross. Here we go now.
We are joined now by ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. Jeremy, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Good. What's your week like? Training camps are starting to get going. What's work like for you these days?
So I will be hitting the Midwest for a little training camp tour starting in Detroit. Just going to rent a car and do a big U-shape around the Midwest. Last year I was actually in Seattle. I did my West Coast trip. So I kind of just pick, go in a rotation of regions every 3 years. So I'll do West Coast this year, Midwest, next year East Coast, and kind of work it that way. So it should be fun to see these teams in action.
Yeah, one of those teams in the Midwest making a lot of headlines here to start camp, really the offseason, and that's the Cincinnati Bengals. And it's mostly about who's not in camp, and that's Trey Hendrickson and Shamar Stewart, both guys holding out till they get, in Hendrickson's case, a new deal, and in Shamar's case, a deal. So what's the latest on those two situations?
Yeah, so the Bengals do have some optimism about Trey Hendrickson. I mean, they've been talking for a while. They resumed talks back in June. They've been trying to make a push here as camp is getting going. I think everybody's sort of exhausted by the whole thing. The reason why I think something can get done is Trey Hendrickson certainly wants a contract commensurate with his skill set and the market and all those things, but he's not looking to top TJ Watt, or he doesn't need to be the highest paid. I think if he's like top 5 or, somewhere in that vicinity, then he'll be good. So if the Bengals can just get him there and make sure it's a long-term deal, I think it has to be multiple years, then they should be in good shape. And really the blueprint to me seems pretty straightforward. You get Trey in there, and then, Shamar kind of loses his leverage at that point, So if Trey signs, I think Shamar would be right behind him, and then you get both defensive ends for your camp.
I'm going to shift it over here to Seattle. Of course, Noah Fant was released. Were you surprised by this move, and what does that say? What does that say about the tight ends that are already here?
No, I actually wasn't at all surprised. That was one of those I was kicking myself I didn't check back in on, just because I was hearing whispers, even around free agency, that they could move him, or that he might even want to be moved because they weren't going to do a new contract. And then when they drafted Arroyo, it just made sense, because they really liked A.J. Barner. They felt like they had good depth there, and they like to go young when they have the chance to do so. So it only made sense to me. I kind of figured that when I saw that, I wasn't surprised. So, he'll have a home. He's still an accomplished tight end who can stretch a defense vertically. So, we'll see where it goes. And he had a good little run there.
Jeremy, you compiled your top 10 list by position, asking all sorts of people in the NFL what they think about certain players. And the Seahawks had 3 make your top 10 lists. You had Leonard Williams, number 6 defensive tackle, Julian Love, number 10 safety, and Devin Witherspoon, the number 10 corner. In tabulating those results, what was maybe a couple of themes you saw pop up when looking at the Seahawks roster from other voices around the league?
Yeah, so for me, it's a roster that's really solid all the way around. Maybe not high-end star power everywhere, but that's okay. So that doesn't always create a formula for winning, you know. Sometimes it's better to have depth. And I think if you look at a player like Jackson Smith and Jigba, who didn't have a lot of traction on my list for receivers, but you could call him a number 1 guy and be comfortable with that. I mean, he was that kind of producer last year and is trending in that direction. So he's a guy I could see making the list in the future. Problem is wide receiver is so deep that, you know, there are like 30 guys there that you could put in the top 10 and feel pretty comfortable about, you know, but some of it's a case of players taking a little bit of a step back. You know, Kenneth Walker was on the cusp a few years ago or a year ago and then didn't quite make the jump. So you fall there. You know, Charles Cross, I've been a little surprised he hasn't got a lot of traction. You know, I thought at the least he'd be like an honorable mention type player. Didn't quite get there. So you have a lot of intriguing young players that they've drafted and developed, and you would say, like, they're not busts. They're good players. They just haven't ascended to that top level yet. So, we'll see if they can get there. But I expect by this time next year they'll have at least one offensive player in the mix there. And, it's tricky with Devon Witherspoon. He had basically a tiebreaker with Jalen Ramsey for that last spot, but teams picked Witherspoon because, you know, the versatility, toughness, can play in the slot or on the outside, you know, kind of a tone setter, and is younger.
Obviously, no one here expected Sam Darnold to make the top 10 list, but what was some of the feedback that you got from Sam Darnold, or about Sam Darnold, I should say?
Yeah, so Sam didn't have a lot of traction on my list as far as the votes go, but, you know, certainly there's an acknowledgement that he is – I would say some people around the league do look at him as interchangeable with Geno Smith a little bit. Different quarterbacks. Geno's probably a little further along as like a polished passer at this point. But Darnold probably has a little more upside. And I think for functions of winning and sort of weight class of quarterbacks, they're probably both like right in the middle somewhere. Maybe in that 16 to 20 range, you know, as far as the 32 quarterbacks. So you can win with that, you know, and both players have shown that you can have a career resurgence. That's been really cool to see, you know, quarterbacks like that getting big money, getting new contracts, coming off of when it looked like their career might be dead. So, you know, certainly I think the feedback with Darnold is that this is a guy who threw 35 touchdowns last year. I believe that was the final number. Like, that's hard to do. You can't just fall into that no matter what offense you're in. Even if you have Justin Jefferson and Kevin O'Connell as your play caller, like, you still have to produce, and that's hard to do. And, you know, now I think for him it's more showing a full body of work and that he can overcome last year's struggles late in the year, you know, where defenses maybe figured him out a little bit. Was that the case? Or did he just struggle a little bit and he's going to have maybe more success in December and January this time around?
Jeremy, was there a team or two that when you were tabulating results were getting maybe more positive results than you thought they were going to get at the outset of your survey?
Ooh, surprise teams. Let me see. Not necessarily. I mean, you know, the Ravens had maybe – I knew there was a really good roster, but they had a little bit more than I thought. You know, the Eagles are never surprising because they're loaded at every position. Chiefs were toward the top. You know, the Bucks, I guess, that was kind of a surprise a little bit. The Jets were surprised. They had 4 players in the top 10. You know, if you were to ask me who has the better roster, Seattle or New York, I would say Seattle. But the Jets have more top 10 players than them because Garrett Wilson snuck in there and Sauce Gardner, you know, is still in there, guys like that. Have a couple defensive guys. So that was a team that surprised me a little bit. The Jets have, like, drafted well, so people are hoping they can turn it around, but they never quite do. Because it takes more than a few standout players.
Is there a team that you expect to make a bigger jump this year? Maybe it is the Jets. It's crazy when you talk about the Jets because they got names on that roster, but just haven't been able to figure it out. Is there a team that you feel like can make a big jump this year, maybe like a Commander's leap?
Ooh, that's a good question. So, you know, I kind of like Tennessee a little bit. We'll see where that roster goes, but I am a Cam Ward believer. You know, I think he's going to have a really good offensive line around him. they've really built that up, and they're saying, hey, we're going to support a rookie quarterback. We got the right guys there. So they spent almost $100 million in free agency and back-to-back first-round picks on the O-line. So it's got to work, and they have Bill Callahan there as their O-line coach. He's one of the best. So I do think the offense will be on the uptick, and the defense there has always been pretty good. So I'm going to say in a winnable division, I'll go Tennessee as sort of my surprise team.
Jeremy, the team that's grabbed the biggest headlines this offseason would be the Steelers in just the names that they've acquired, all household names, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Rodgers, and DK Metcalf. How's the fan base treating those moves? Is it with optimism because of we know what all those guys can look like at their peaks, or is it maybe skepticism since all of them kind of come to Pittsburgh with various question marks? Where's that Steelers fan base right now in viewing their offseason?
Somewhere vacillating between those two. I mean, all the above. I think there's a little indifference to it, a little bit of, is there going to be buyer's remorse here for picking a quarterback that's in his early 40s at this stage, no matter how good he's been? It didn't look great with the Jets, Achilles injury. What exactly are you getting? But then also, I think it's refreshing to some Steelers fans that this is a team that no matter where you are in the pecking order of the NFL, if you're sort of so-called stuck in the middle, you still have to try to build a Super Bowl roster. Like when I talk to people in Pittsburgh, that's what they say. We're trying to win a Super Bowl. We're not hiding from that. So we're making moves accordingly, And this is a team that it's just not going to tank. Like I think there's a appetite with certain fan bases where if you're in the middle, if you're winning 8 or 9 games a year and you're sneaking into the playoffs and you're not winning in the playoffs, they're like, hey, we're stuck. We don't have a quarterback. Let's just tear it down. But then, look at the Giants last year. They have a miserable season, win 3 or 4 games, and then you still don't get the number 1 pick. And a quarterback that only had really one quarterback, which is Cam Ward in that draft, was sort of considered him and the rest. So that often doesn't work. And I applaud the teams that try to go all in. So, and really, I think the Steelers feel like this is their best quarterback outlook they've had since the peak Big Ben years. They've had a pretty ugly carousel of signal callers that haven't worked out.
When you look at this division, a lot of people just put the Rams at the top of the NFC West and say, okay, everyone else figure it out. How do you view it? Do you see the Rams as the clear-cut favorite? Do you think the Niners are close? The Seahawks? How do you look at this West?
Yeah, I don't know if I remember this division being more wide open. Because San Fran to me is a little bit in transition. They're almost in a mini rebuild where they had to scale back their salary cap in some areas, but they're still heavy on star power, and I'm betting on Kyle Shanahan to get the most out of young players. So they're going to be right there. Seattle, from what I saw from Mike McDonald after the bye last year, he can handle the coaching part. He's a really bright coach. The question is, can he be the sort of leader that they need to be a consistent playoff team? I think he can, but, that's just something he's got to show over time. But they should be right there. Arizona's one of my sneaky contenders. I mentioned Tennessee. I'd go Arizona too a little bit. To me, they're on a upward trajectory. And then we know what the Rams can do. And they're replacing Cooper Kupp with Devontae Adams. Most would look at that as an upgrade, combined with a defense that's really good and really young. So right now, if I had to pick a favorite, I'd say the Rams. But to me, it's wide open, maybe more wide open than any other division, in my opinion.
Sticking here in the NFC West, Jeremy, earlier we talked about the Noah Fant release that frees up about almost $9 million in cap space. Do you see the Seahawks using that more on extending guys that are already here on the roster? I know a lot of the 2022 draft class is up for extensions. Or do you think that's maybe money that they could use to go out and acquire somebody to add to this roster?
Well, the Seahawks will always be looking to acquire. I don't know if they're going to make splash moves per se, but they're always looking at depth, and if they can get, quality free agent or a quality kind of low-key trade at a reasonable cost, I think they'll look into that. But that's sort of a case-by-case situation. As far as key players keeping them around, Kobe Bryant comes to mind. Yeah, I know they have interest in extending him at some point. The safety who's kind of play all over the defensive backfield, but he was in particular a fit for Mike McDonald. I know McDonald really took to him and used him in a variety of ways. And then Tariq Woolen, he's a proven guy. Certainly with his length and speed, he's fascinating because he would do really well in free agency. He's the kind of guy that would strike big in free agency, but is he willing to wait a year, or is the cornerback market just too high where Seattle doesn't feel like they can entertain that if he's not a top tier, top 10 guy, which I would say Witherspoon is kind of there more so than one at this point. So that's a tough conversation. My guess is they'll at least try with Tariq and see where it goes, but it wouldn't shock me if he went in a contract year, balled out, and then hit free agency big.
What are your expectations for this defense? You just mentioned a bunch of names, right? You got Reek Woolen over there. You talked about Witherspoon, the safety situation over here. We have high expectations for this defense. How do you see it?
Yeah, I certainly don't see why not. I mean, I think they just need to get the most out of the pass rush, the edge rusher position. We saw Leonard Williams is in a prime spot where Mike McDonald knows how to use those interior guys. He did it with Nnamdi Matabuke 2 years ago in Baltimore. Did it with Leonard Williams. So how do you complement that with the right edge rushers? Is Derek Hall going to make a big jump this year? He was trending in the right direction. Boye Mafe, guys like that. If you can get enough sacks from them, enough game-changing plays, I think you'll be in the right spot. But, yes, certainly they have the personnel and the coaching to be stout on defense. I don't think there's any doubt.
He is ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. Jeremy, we appreciate your time, man.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Hey, anytime, guys. Thanks for having me.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
The Seahawks released tight end Noah Fant on Sunday, saving nearly $9 million against the cap. What's the real headline?
Real headline, in my greatest Brian Windhorst impression, why did they do that?
Why? Why would they?
Why would they do that?
Why would they do that?
Because you're paying a man $13 million a year. I think like second or first highest, somewhere top 2 or 3 on the team offensively. And you just weren't getting that type of production. He wasn't bad. He has years of 400 yards, 500 yards. Touchdowns haven't really been up, but this just gives more space for these young men to develop in A.J. Barner and Arroyo. And they can do what Noah Fant has done the last few years. So it's a move that needed to happen. Now they have $35 million in cap space. What do you do with that money?
I think most of it goes to the guys that are currently on the roster. You've got a bunch of guys who are up for extensions here entering the 2025 season. I think they get taken care of probably before the Seahawks look elsewhere. That you want to get these extensions done before you get to the season. So if that means Kobe Bryant, whose name was brought up by Brady Henderson on ESPN.com last week, you've got Boye Mafe, who's up for a deal. Charles Cross could be potentially extended as well. Here was actually Brady Henderson this morning on with Mike Lefko and Brock Heward talking about the potential of a Kobe Bryant extension.
Another guy from that 2022 draft class who has really found a home at safety. And, maybe a few months ago, right after they drafted Nick Emanwori, I wouldn't have necessarily thought that, I really would have wondered about Kobe Bryant's, long-term future with the Seahawks going into the final year of his rookie contract. But I think two things have become clear since then. One is that, they plan to play Nick Emanwori at the second level and at nickelback, at least early on. And Mike McDonald has been pretty clear about that. The other thing that's become clear is just how much they seem to really love Kobe Bryant and everything about his mentality, preparation, and just the way that he really took hold of that job last season. With Kobe Bryant, maybe not on everybody's radar just because of the Nick Emanwori pick, but he's a guy I would definitely pay attention to as an extension candidate.
It kind of feels like the more Kobe Bryant gets talked about as an extension candidate, the more likely it's to happen. I think he might even be the first on the docket here.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant, he's had an interesting journey, right? He started off as a corner, moved to nickel, then to safety, got banged up. They bring in a couple more safeties. They don't do their job. They get banged up. He shows up. He balls out. He's a starter. Pay the man. Kobe Bryant, one of my favorite players on this team. It's, time to pay him.
Headline rewrites.
Scottie Scheffler won his second major of 2025 and fourth overall after winning the British Open by 4 strokes. What's the real headline?
Real headline, for someone who doesn't care about winning, he sure seems to do it a lot.
All he does is win. Scottie, 1,197 days in between his first major and his fourth major, the exact same amount of days as Tiger Woods. Crown him. He's the greatest ever now. Crown him. No, he has, Tiger Woods has 15 majors. He needs 11 more to do that. But, no, and what I like about Scottie's game, too, is that his swing is not what you show your kids. You don't say, look, swing the club like Scottie. So he makes us high handicappers feel like we, too, can win a major one day.
He's so good. 2 Masters jackets. Has won an Olympic gold medal, PGA championship. He wins his first British Open yesterday. Still missing that U.S. Open title, which is one of the hardest to get. And it's something that's eluded, Phil Mickelson's entire career.
Yeah.
But I feel like Scheffler eventually will get that elusive U.S. Open title. And I mean, it's been such a quick rise, too. You mentioned how quickly he went from no majors to 4, matching Tiger Woods. It's going to be just a start of something really special here. But I would not put him in the same breath as Tiger Woods yet. Yeah, no, Tiger did in the same amount of time, but look at what he did majors 5 through 14. He won those in very quick succession. In fact, held all 4 at one time in the 2000 and 2001 golf seasons. Started with the U.S. Open, won the British, won the PGA, then won the Masters. Held all 4 at once. That's insanity.
That's nuts.
I don't know if Scheffler's going to be able to do that, but to me, Tiger Woods still, at this point in their careers, I would take what he did over what Scottie Scheffler's doing.
For sure.
Headline rewrites.
The NFLPA's J.C. Treader is resigning just days after Lloyd House stepped down amid several controversies. What's the real headline?
Real headline, the bar is super low to clear for whoever takes over next.
Yeah, man. What's going on over there? What is
Nothing
going on with
good.
NFLPA? You're going to jack up some money for a kid who is a sophomore in college right now.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that kid's already getting paid. I forgot. You can get paid now in college, Curtis. I don't know if you were aware of that.
I've heard tell.
Just missed that one. Your boy just missed it. But no, man, this is it's a shady situation. He says he's not resigning out of him being embarrassed or whatnot or shame. Yeah,
maybe you should be.
I think he is. I think there is a little bit of shame going on there.
There's no leadership at the NFLPA right now. It's a mess. And the CBA expires when? 2026?
Not sure.
I'm not mistaken. It will be up pretty soon, as far as I know. But it will. It's just looking like the NFL owners are going to get everything they're asking for, just because the NFL Players Association is a ship without a captain right now. They have nothing that they can come to the table with and be like, all right, let's hammer things out. In fact, it was an 11-year CBA that expires in March of 2031. So we're still a ways away from that CBA expiring, but still, every Players Association is looking to the next negotiation.
Yep.
They're always, gearing themselves up for what's coming down the pipe. We're seeing it in baseball right now with the Players Association trying to gear up for, 2026 when that CBA expires. So I just think with the Players Association right now, they've got a lot of work to do in the next 5 years before they can even think about getting some concessions on this next round of negotiations.
Leadership
Rooting
matters.
for 'em, but
yeah, leadership matters, man. And Lloyd and JC, they out of there. All right, we got more to do here on the Bump and Stacy show. When we return, time for NFL headlines. You got Dan Campbell speaking on losing his offensive coordinators, Jerry Jones holding up the Michael Parsons extension, and then we'll touch on the Bengals situation as well. That is next here on the Bump and Stacy show.
MLB Network insider John Morosi every week with Wyman and Bob.
Can they do enough at the trade deadline?
They don't have to necessarily be in first place by the end of July, but you need to show the front office that this team is worth adding to. But they need to show you more from guys who are not named Cal Raleigh. I'd be paying very close attention. Emerson, Young, Celestin, to see who potentially could be the one that they move.
See the full conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Need a new roof but not in the budget? A new roof doesn't have to break the bank. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Right now, State Roofing and Exteriors is offering 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's 2 years with no payments while getting the protection your home deserves. But this offer won't last forever. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to get on our summer schedule now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
10-time MLB All-Star. 10-time Gold Glove Award winner, MLB single-season hit leader, a one-of-a-kind player.
And there it is! He's a new all-time hit king in Major League history, number 258.
Head to T-Mobile Park in August as the Mariners celebrate Ichiro's induction into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. The festivities kick off with a 3-day Ichiro Hall of Fame Funko Pop giveaway, Tuesday, August 5th through Thursday, August 7th. On Friday, August 8th, arrive early to score a 2004 Ichiro jersey like the one he wore when he broke the MLB single-season hit record. Saturday, August 9th will feature Ichiro's pregame number retirement ceremony, and the first 20,000 fans on Sunday the 10th will take home a replica of his Cooperstown plaque. It's going to be legendary.
On a tremendous throw by Ichiro! He threw something out of Star Wars!
Get your tickets at mariners.com/Ichiro.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Dave Taylor from First Mark Insurance. So glad, so thankful that Molly and I made the call. Had heard so many First Mark Challenge victories, we needed to take that challenge. What does happen from your perspective when that caller, when that email, when that person reaches out to you for a First Mark Challenge victory?
That's a great question. So there's several steps we go through in the process. The first step is we're going to gather information, find out all we can about that client and what their needs are. The next step is we will go out to the market. We have dozens and dozens of carriers that will compete for the business. At the end of that process, we will then bring those findings back to the customer, show them what we found, and who the eventual winner was in that competition.
And it may be who they're with.
It might be, yes. And sometimes that's the best we can do is recommend they stay where they are, but maybe modify a few coverages to put them in a better position.
So go take that challenge today. Go be the next First Mark Challenge victory. It costs you nothing, and they will be there with you every step of the way. FirstMarkInsurance.com. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hey, it's Dave Wyman, and before you make that decision, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Why? Because he gives it to you straight. Dr. Wagner said my right knee needs replacement, and I appreciate his honesty and expertise. My left knee is fine right now, but the minute it isn't, I'm heading to Dr. Wagner for his expert opinion. I want to avoid another surgery, and I've heard so many patients rave about results from their 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner. He's a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience and has performed more than 20,000 stem cell procedures using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy without pain and without surgery. Whether it's a shoulder, hip, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
NFL headlines here on the Bumpin' Stacy Show. We got Curtis Rogers filling in for one more day. Stacy is doing whatever it is she does on her time off.
It's a girls' trip.
Girls' trip. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, girl. All right. Let's go to Detroit.
Just a lot of nodding up.
Yep.
That's what that is.
Yeah, we just profiled the heck out of y'all.
I mean, I don't think she would deny it.
No, she
probably
wouldn't.
had a White Claw in her
She
hand.
would.
Yeah.
But there's someone on the text line that's like, oh my God, I can't believe that. But listen, we know our girl Stacy, okay? We know her well. All right, let's go to Detroit, man. Dan Campbell lost both of his coordinators last year. You got Aaron Glenn, head coach of the Jets, Ben Johnson, head coach of the Bears, and it's going to be tough. I think that he's going to do a good job with this program or whatnot. He's still got a lot of guys coming back, but it's going to be tough. He talks about it.
That's coming, right? That's already a narrative. I'm not going to change that. None of us will. A loss, it's coming. We don't do well on offense, it's coming. Something happens defensively, it's coming. So that narrative is coming. It's written, it's done. I have no control over that. If you're asking me personally, yeah, I don't think it's what is played out to be. I've said this before. It hurts to lose two guys that, man, have been here from the beginning, got a lot of trust and faith in. You know, there's a lot of communication that goes that's not even said, because once you get to that, you understand each other. You know, a look, a nod, a body demeanor, and says it all. And that's just a little bit of what we got to gain together between myself, Johnny Morton, and Shep. But that takes a minute. It takes time, and we'll get it. You know, it'll come. That's what practice is about. That's what preseason games, early in the year, all of that. So, you know, we'll be good.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. And he's right. As soon as that offense struggles, people are going to talk. As soon as that defense struggles, people are going to talk. This is something I can guarantee you, Curtis. They're not going to go undefeated during the regular season. They're going to struggle at some point.
Friday's not till football season, Bump.
Goodness gracious.
If any team can empathize with losing your coordinators after having great seasons, it's here in Seattle, because immediately after like the Legion of Boom years, you saw Gus Bradley move on. He got a head coaching job. Dan Quinn move on. Then you were down to Chris Richard, who was a position coach on the Legion of Boom team, but then he took over the defense. Didn't necessarily improve while he was here. He gets let go. Ken Norton, he was a position coach on the Legion of Boom defense. He gets let go. It's never quite as good as the addition that preceded it. So I do expect the Lions to take maybe a step back this season, but I still expect them to win the NFC North. They're not getting 15 wins this year. I'm sorry. They're just not. I think 12 to 13 could still be in play.
Yeah.
But I just don't see them going 15-2 again after such a fantastic year a year ago. You know, they already lost, was it Levi Onwuzurike to a torn ACL? So the injury's already piling up in Detroit.
Watching Netflix quarterbacks makes me like Jared Goff and the Lions even more. So I will be silently rooting for them. My dad grew up in Detroit, so that's his squad. So I'll be checking in on them. All right, moving along. Jerry Jones still hasn't paid one of the best defensive players in the game, Micah Parsons.
The other thing I would say is contracts are 4 or 5 years. Okay? There's a lot of water under the bridge if you step out there and do something in the first 2 or 3. You can get hit by a car. Seriously. And so there's a lot to look at over a lot of years that could make a big difference. Have you ever heard of any clubs committing to players and then they didn't pan out after they committed to them? We have.
What's going on here? What is going on here?
I don't know. Jerry.
Did you know the sky was blue?
Yeah.
Like
it happens with every contract, Jerry. There's a risk. obviously.
Yes.
But what has Micah Parsons done in his career to make you question whether or not that's going to be a worthwhile investment? Yeah, he got dinged up a little bit last year, missed, 6 games? But for every other part of his career, he's been healthy and has been highly productive.
Yeah.
People consider him to be the best defensive player in the league when he's healthy. He also, Parsons also said that he was going to report to camp, and he doesn't have a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is being a team player in all of this, and yet you're like, wow, he can get hit by a car today. These are 4 or 5 year commitments. What if he's only good for 2 or 3? Jerry,
what is going on, man?
Why are you trying to alienate your most valuable asset right now? What an idiot.
Jerry tripping. But we're used to Jerry tripping.
Sure. It makes this time of year incredible because he's going to say something stupid.
If he were logical, we'd be concerned. Like,
right.
if he came out and did what he was supposed to do and pay people on time, we'd be like, what's going on with Jerry? He's sick. But this is normal Jerry. Goodness gracious. Moving on. Mike Brown.
Oh, another great owner in the NFL. Another crusty old guy in the NFL.
Oh, man. He talked about why Trey is in camp.
Trey Henderson is a fine player. He's a good guy. We want him here. Dealing with him is sometimes not so easy. That's all right. He's got the right to argue his case. We'll try to make sense of it from our perspective, and we'll see. I'm not persuaded that it isn't going to get done. As far as I'm concerned, the sooner the better.
Yeah, you're right. Sooner the better. Let's get it done. And I like how he acknowledges that. Look, he can be difficult to work with, but when you lead the league in sacks the last couple seasons, yeah, you're going to be a bit difficult. And when you're 31, 32, and you're trying to get paid, yeah, you're going to be difficult. Go get your money. Pay him, Mike.
Yeah, I think Trey Hendrickson has every right to feel the way he's feeling, and I think he is deserving of top-of-the-market money as a pass rusher. 17.5 sacks? That's a stupid number. Again, the Bengals can't get out of their own way. It's just one thing after another with them, and they're making this way more complicated than it needs to be. Your defense was the problem last year, and Hendrickson was your best contributor on that side of the ball. Why on earth would you threaten to go into this season without him? It makes no sense to me.
Tripping. All right, and he was asked if Hendrickson deserves a raise.
We offered him one, but keep in mind, Trey signed for this season. But foolishly, maybe we offered him one, but a raise. But anyway, he deserves a raise. He did well, and he played effectively. He's important to us.
Yeah, he deserves a raise. Had the most sacks in the game last year.
That's right.
Hook that man up.
Yeah.
It's really not that hard.
Write the check.
All right, let's stay in Cincinnati, huh? You got the GM, Duke Dobbin, talks about the Shamar Stewart situation.
Yeah, I won't get into all the details of it. You know, I don't blame Shamar. He's listening to the advice that he's paying for. I don't understand the advice. I don't agree with it. I'm not the one paying for it. But that's where it is. If I thought we were treating him unfairly, it would be a different story. But we're treating him fairly with all the rest of the draft picks in this year's draft.
I think that's a good way to put it. He's paying, or he's listening to the advice that he's paying for. So good. Keep Shamar out of this, right? He's a 20-something-year-old young man trying to figure out how to maneuver. Wants to make sure that he's covered if something were to happen to him. You're paying your agent to handle these negotiations. If you don't trust him, then you shouldn't be paying him.
Right. And I think Stewart has very much made his stance known to the Bengals. And now it's the Bengals who are kind of hemming and hawing over this, being like, well, you know, we don't have to sign you if we don't want to, pulling that card. It just makes for future draft picks when they see the Bengals name come up, if they are requesting an interview of you, it makes you wonder, like, well, if they weren't going to pay this guy what he wanted, why are they ever going to pay me what I wanted? And I get that, like, Joe Burrow eventually ended up getting what he wanted in Jamar Chase, but those are, like, top-of-the-line talents in the NFL. Like, Jamar Chase, top 2 receiver in the NFL. Joe Burrow probably top 2 or 3 quarterback, depending on where like Josh Allen fits in there. So, like, if you're not top 2 at your position in the NFL, are the Bengals going to treat you right? Are they going to, give you what you're looking for? I don't think so.
See, what they're doing is building a reputation, and people or players are going to go into these situations moving forward, dealing with the Bengals and have their guards up. And they know that it's going to be a difficult process. I think people kind of go into negotiations the same way with the Dallas Cowboys. Like, all right, we don't know how this is going to go because Jerry be tripping. Same thing can be said about the Cincinnati Bengals. So just get it done or let him go. If you love him, let him go.
And if he comes back, he's yours forever.
There you go. Right? All right, that was NFL headlines. More to do when we come back. A little baseball, a little football. You know how we do. Curtis Rogers filling in for Stacy. This is the Bump and Stacy Show.
It's one of the most pivotal stretches for the Mariners this season, with just 10 days till the trade deadline.
Mariners plan for the trade deadline.
Obviously, the biggest question, and our buddy Jeff Passan, who are the best bats available? It's Gino and it's Naylor.
It would make this team right there with every other team that has World Series aspirations.
Stay plugged in as the Mariners approach the trade deadline on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Dave Wyman here for Harley Exteriors. When you hear Harley Exteriors, I want you to think windows manufactured right here in Washington and specifically designed for our Pacific Northwest homes and climate. These are the windows you want. They look absolutely stunning, much better than a traditional vinyl window, and they're going to lower your energy bills and provide year-round comfort. They also come with a double lifetime, fully transferable warranty, meaning not only are you covered for glass breaking or damaged seals, it's going to help your resale and home value. These windows last up to 60 years. Harley Exteriors is making these windows affordable with options like 0 payments and 0 interest up to 12 months for qualified buyers. In July, Harley Exteriors is offering 50% off basic installation, no payments, no interest for 12 months, and an additional $200 off your project. Think Harley Exteriors for windows, doors, and more right here in the Puget Sound. Call 833-HARLEY or just go to harleyexteriors.com.
We at 3 Tree Roofing understand that your home is your castle. That's why our certified technicians use state-of-the-art installation methods to deliver the highest warranties available. Check out our hundreds of online reviews and schedule a free estimate to see for yourself. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
The biggest scuba sale in America starts Thursday at Underwater Sports in North Seattle. Incredible savings for 3 days only. Divers Fair only happens once each year at Underwater Sports, 107th and Aurora Avenue North.
Hey, it's Dr. Coogan from Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. We've been fortunate to work with over 4,000 local people and help them hit some pretty amazing weight loss goals. I'm joined by 2 of them right now, Mike Salk and Ryan Rowland-Smith. Ryan, every time I see you on TV, I'm even more proud of all you've accomplished on the plan.
I'm so happy. For years, I've been trying to find a consistent plan that delivered results with my busy family and work schedule. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic not only delivered, but it was an absolute breeze. It was so enjoyable because the plan wasn't hard. I was able to eat delicious food, and I literally lost weight every single day.
Eastside Weight Loss Clinic works so well for me. I'm happy to hear more people are using it to lose weight and prioritize their health as well. It's an awesome plan. Schedule a free 50-minute consultation today. Go to eastsideweightlossklinic.com.
No surgery, no exercise, no packaged meals, no drugs or injections. Just delicious food and a plan that works. Schedule a free 15-minute consultation today at eastsideweightlossklinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Why is Mazda of Everett the #1 dealer on the West Coast? Mazda of Everett is locally owned and operated for 20 years. They work hard to get you their best deal every time and to make sure you drive away happy. With over 700 new Mazdas, they stock more than anyone in the Seattle area. Find out for yourself why people keep coming back to Mazda of Everett. Take advantage of the Mazda of Everett price during the More to Move You sales event. MazdaofEverett.com. Claims based on Mazda USA inventory and sales reports.
the home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed the musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Summer is here, and Washington Energy's BOGO 40% off sale is on now. Update and enhance your home with beautiful new windows and doors, expertly installed by Washington Energy Services. Save today with one of our best deals of the year. Buy one energy-efficient window, get the second at 40% off. And BOGO 40% off all entry, patio, and interior doors right now. From traditional to modern home updates, and with over 65 years of award-winning installations, Washington Energy is the clear choice. Call today for a free estimate.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men, too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat-freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We're going to check back in with the NFC West and tell you what we learned. We've gone on a little tour talking to different reporters from each team. But before we go there, we got some Mariners news. The Mariners are calling up lefty reliever Brandon Garcia from AAA. They're sending down reliever Juan Burgos as the corresponding move. Curtis, your thoughts?
Brandon Garcia is a guy that the Mariners front office has been really high on the last couple of years, and this year has been his first go of it as a reliever since getting drafted in 2023. He was an 11th-round pick in 2023. Last year, between Arkansas and Everett, he made 25 starts, struck out 134 batters in 116 innings. This year, he's appeared in 32 relief appearances, 42 strikeouts in 33 and a third innings pitched. So definitely has some strikeout stuff for sure. Had a pretty decent cup of coffee in Arkansas to start the year, 3.96 ERA and 25 innings pitched. Moved up to AAA Tacoma. That's where he's been over the last few weeks. 8 1/3 innings pitched in 8 relief appearances. Finished 3 games for the Rainiers, struck out 9. So this is somebody that the Mariners have really liked and have liked his stuff and think that he can be a contributor. And it's an interesting move because Mariners don't usually have a lot of lefties in their bullpen. Mm-hmm. It's usually just been Gabe Spire. Occasionally it's been Taylor Saucedo this year. But I think Garcia, of all 3 of those guys, he's got some pretty nice stuff. So an intriguing move made by the Mariners here today and bring up Brandon Garcia, who's likely to get his Major League debut over the next couple of days.
What if they found something, Curtis? What if they found their reliever?
That'd be great.
Does it change anything? What if he comes out and he looks great? Can he do enough between now and the trade deadline to make you feel like, okay, you don't need to go out there and get an arm?
I don't think you can ever have enough great relief pitching. So I would still be more than comfortable if the Mariners went out and acquired a veteran relief pitcher. But if Garcia ends up popping here over the season's final 2 months, that'd be an A-plus result over this move for sure.
Wish you nothing but the best, Brandon. Go get it, baby. All right, let's go on to the NFC West. All right, so we visited with every team. They got a reporter and broadcaster. So we're going to give you our final thoughts, I guess, on what we learned from the situation. Let's start with the 49ers. With the 49ers, everything that I see and I read, people believe this roster is still stacked. You got Purdy coming back, McCaffrey coming back from injury, Pearsall, a young receiver who I think is going to be good. Juwan Jennings wants his contract restructured, though, so that's something you have to look after. Deebo Samuel is gone. Defensively, you got Fred Warner. Greenlaw's gone. Javon on the defensive line, he's gone. Hufanga's gone. But there's enough here to where people think they're picking them second to finish second in the division in some cases. Some cases have them finishing first and being contenders. Listen, there's things to be true the last 5-6 years in the NFC West is that the 49ers are going to put out a pretty good team.
I think so. And Matt Mayoko, who we had on from NBC Sports Bay Area, he basically was like, look, there's still a lot of talent on this roster, and if you're going to take the 49ers for granted this season, then that's on you. And I tend to agree. The 49ers are not a team that I will be overlooking at all in 2025. I think they bounce back from a very disappointing 2024 season. Obviously, you dealt with a ton of injuries, but you're also coming off of a Super Bowl, and that Super Bowl hangover is incredibly real in the NFL, which is going to be interesting to see how the Chiefs handle that in the AFC, but that's a different story. But I think the 49ers are very much a team that until everything is determined, you have to take them seriously.
Yeah.
It's funny because that loss they had to the Seahawks last year really kind of ended their season. The one where Geno runs into the end zone near as time almost expired in the fourth quarter. After that game, I believe the 49ers only had one more win the rest of the year. So pretty cool to see the Seahawks ruin the 49ers season the way they did that time.
Pretty cool. Yeah, we know they're going to be coached well. They did add some talent to their roster. Michael Williams defensively, Alfred Collins as well, D tackle that we expect to see. So let's see how they do. All right, moving along. Let's get to the Cardinals. This is an interesting one. They were my sleeper in the division, and I'll describe what I mean by sleeper. They're just a team who can jack your season up. I think that offensively they have some weapons. Obviously, you have Kyler Murray at the quarterback position. Marvin Harrison Jr. had a good rookie season. You have Michael Wilson, the receiver out of Stanford as well. And you probably have one of the top 3 or 4 tight ends of the game in Trey McBride. Defensively is where they struggled last year. So what do? They go hard on the defensive picks when we're talking about the draft. D tackle, corner, edge, linebacker, corner, guard, and then a safety. They came in with a plan and they executed. If their defense can play a bit better than last year, take a step forward, again, they're a team that can just ruin your season. Yeah. Can't sleep on the Cardinals.
It's a weird spot that the Cardinals find themselves in because they're entering a year, I think, with more expectations, at least locally. Mm-hmm. They went 4-13 2 years ago. Last year, they improved to 8-9, gave the Rams fits, what was it, in week 17?
Yeah.
When the Seahawks desperately needed the Cardinals to win. They could not hold up their end of the bargain. So this Cardinals team has not really had a lot of expectations in Kyler Murray's tenure. Early on, they made one playoff trip, but they got just absolutely destroyed by the Rams. Years with expectations increase the pressure of everybody on that team. And we're in, year 7 now of Kyler Murray, and he has one playoff trip in his career with the Cardinals. That's not good enough out of your starting quarterback. And also Jonathan Gannon, yes, you have made significant strides in years 1 and year 2 in making this team a lot more competitive. But let's say the Cardinals finish 6-11 this year. Mm-hmm. Let's say they finish 7-10 after an 8-9 season. It's one thing to go from bad to somewhat good. That's a pretty easy leap to make in sports. We see teams do that all the time. But from going from good to great, that's the toughest leap in sports. Going from, in the NFL, 8, 9, 10 wins to then going to 12, 13, 14 wins, that's so tough to do.
True.
And I don't know if the Cardinals have right now the roster talent that can get them to 10, 11, 12 wins.
Especially in this division, too, man. It feels wide open, but it also feels tough, man. You got to go through those Rams and the Niners to get things done. All right, last one. We just spoke to J.B. Long, who's on the broadcast team. The Rams, he says they got better at the wideout position with Devontae Adams. We know that defensive line with Kobe Turner, I'm missing names. Verse down there.
Jared Verse, Braden Fisk.
Yeah. Those dudes are going to be ready to go. Offensively, with the addition of Devontae Adams, I think that these route combinations are going to get even more creative Devontae Allen's one of the best in the game right now, especially with his releases, understands where everyone's going. He's getting space. He's just a baller out there. And then the Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay saga is over with, right? It looked like there was a chance that Matthew Stafford wasn't going to go back to the Rams. They patch it up and get it done. There's nothing like a head coach and a quarterback relationship. The Rams are going to be tough, too.
They are going to be so tough. I think they have the highest upside of any team in the division, especially with all the young talent that they have. Outside of, quarterback, we don't know what Stafford's situation is going to be like after this season in L.A., but they've got a lot of roster talent to where they're going to be super competitive for at least a couple of years here coming up. I do not want to see the Rams at any point in this season. So, it's going to be a tough go of it in the NFC West, but I think the Seahawks can definitely throw their weight around a little bit with these guys.
Throw them hands, baby. Throw them hands. All right, we are 100 games in. Do we know who the Mariners are? What can they be the rest of the way? We'll let you know next here on the Bump and Stacy Show.
MLB Network insider John Morosi every week with Wyman and Bob.
Can they do enough at the trade deadline?
They don't have to necessarily be in first place by the end of July, but you need to show the front office that this team is worth adding to. But they need to show you more from guys who are not named Cal Raleigh. I'd be paying very close attention. Emerson, Young, Celestin to see who potentially could be the one that they move.
See the full conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Need a new roof now? With State Roofing and Exteriors, you can get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's right. Protect your home now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
John here with Happy Hauler. Furniture and household items you plan to throw away? We work with organizations all over Western Washington to donate used items. Happy Hauler is Seattle's eco-friendly junk removal. HappyHauler.com, hauling with a heart.
Walking away from an interaction with a customer that says, I can't believe how easy this was. I can't thank you enough for helping me.
Our strategy with pricing is not to be the highest price and not to be the lowest price, but to be a really good price and to provide a really good experience to the customer.
Yeah, I have a ton of really memorable customers. Afterwards to thank us, he sent us this beautiful basket of candies and fruits and stuff. It was just really sweet. It really it felt like we were truly helping.
Receiving a handwritten letter that's personalized to a salesperson or a service advisor or a technician expressing gratitude, and then taking that home and sharing that with your family and hanging that on your refrigerator, that's the difference.
You hear it from one person, and then another, and another. You come to realize it's not a script, it's a belief. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Cool cars, cool people, good times. The Good Guys 37th Griot's Garage Pacific Northwest Nationals presented by Wicked Fabrications. July 25th through the 27th at the Washington State Fair Event Center. Over 2,500 classics. An earth-shaking Nitro Thunderfest. Tire smoke and burnout competition. And don't miss Good Guys Friday night vintage drags at Pacific Raceways in Kent. All this weekend at the Washington State Fair Event Center in Puyallup. Details at good-guys.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life.
Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips. So we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
The countdown is on.
2 more days until Seahawks training camp.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners are taking on the Brewers tonight. First pitch is at 6:40. Kirby is on the mound. The Seahawks have released tight end Noah Fant after 3 seasons. The move clears up about $8 million in cap space. And you got Scotty Scheffler, who won his 4th major, almost to where Tiger is. They keep comparing it to him. Don't do it. Mariners news, they're calling up lefty Brandon Garcia from AAA. They're sending down reliever Juan Burgess as the corresponding move.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross. Here we go now.
Curtis Rogers in for Stacy Ross here on the Bump and Stacy Show. We are 100 games in. I saw a texter, and he or she had a beautiful text. I go, look, you can't say it's early anymore.
No.
But you can say there's still time left. There's still time. I go, okay, there's still time. We're 100 games in.
It's going to sneak up on you, though.
It is. 100 snuck up on me. This happened quick. Happened quick.
I mean, yes, there is still time left. There's 63 games left if you include tonight's game, which is game number 100. But we're basically a third of the way, or we have 1/3 of the season left, and 100 games in. They say, Bump, in baseball, you win 50, you lose 50. It's the other 62 that determine your season. How do you handle those 62 games?
Yeah.
And right now, the Mariners 53-46 through 99 games. If you have won 54 of your first 100. You'll have put yourself in a nice little spot to make some more noise in the in the remaining 62. So it's one of those like sayings you hear about baseball. You kind of like as a kid you roll your eyes at, but then it's like, oh yeah, you're right.
It's actually right.
kind of simplified.
It does make sense. So through 100 games, we're still have the same question. A lot of us are asking, right? Who are they going to add? What are they going to do? And David Schoenfeld talks about how many new Mariners he thinks they'll acquire at the deadline.
The easiest thing, they'll add a reliever, that no doubt about that. Maybe a reliever, maybe 2. Will they get a bat? Realistically, not a lot of hitters out there. The teams who we know are going to trade, right? The Pirates, the A's, these teams don't, the Nationals, they don't have a lot of players to trade. So to your point about being disappointed,
there's a good chance that, not only Mariners fans, but fans across the sport end up being disappointed because right now there's 21, 22 teams realistically in the playoff race. So there's a chance this deadline does end up a dud, but I'll say 3 new players. We'll say a couple relievers and some kind of hitter.
Couple reliever, some kind of hitter. What do you think about that?
I'll take a reliever and a hitter. Yeah, I think that would be a great thing to help aid this Mariners team as they approach the most important games on their schedule. You can never have enough relief pitching. We talked about that in the last segment a little bit. But, yeah, I think this team is also a bat short from what they want to be and from what I think we're hoping they can be. I think this Mariners team as currently constructed can sneak into the playoffs as the third wild card. And that would be a great accomplishment in terms of what this franchise has accomplished over the course of its franchise's history. But I think there should be higher goals than just the third wild card every single year. We pointed it out in the open today, Bump. You're only 4 back of Houston with 63 games remaining or counting tonight and the remaining 62. That is doable. That's very doable to catch them and pass them over the course of these remaining games. 4 games is not a lot over the course of 2 months. Now, if it was 4 games with 20 to go, 4 games with 15 to go, that's going to be really tough. But I think the division should still be your goal, and to get home playoff games here in Seattle. I think that should absolutely be the goal of this front office, not simply to be okay with just reaching the playoffs as the third wild card. And that's the Mariners right now, I think, are a third wild card team or a second wild card team. That's what I think they are. What they can be the rest of the way is entirely up to them.
Yep.
It is a choose your own adventure book, and it's entirely their pick. Do you want to be a division winner, finally vanquish the foe that is the Houston Astros, or are you just okay with letting Houston continue their run, continue their dominance of the AL West? Are you okay with them getting better after they add Jeremy Pena back to this roster, likely get Yordan Alvarez back at some point? Isaac Paredes will be back in that lineup. Are you okay with them just doing that, and you're just going to sit there and watch them get better while your biggest help along the way is probably what? Bryce Miller and Victor Robles? Like, can you count on Bryce Miller this season?
Haven't been able to.
I have not been able to. Can you count on Victor Robles this season? He played 70 really good games in the 2024 season. Is that the same player who you're getting after, 4 months off from, busting his shoulder against the Giants? The guys the Mariners are getting back, far less proven than who the Astros are getting back.
Yeah. As soon as you started talking about the Astros getting healthy, Pena, Yordan, that gets scary because then what are they going to do at the trade deadline too? They're going to make some type of move, but they're not as desperate as the Mariners are because of the guys that you just said. Victor Robles, hardly know him this year. Saw him for a little bit and then he was gone.
Saw him for like a week. Yeah.
Bryce Miller didn't look the same. Different kind of guy. I think he's going to rehab starter pretty soon. Or he threw a live BP. I think. Yeah, threw a live BP. So we'll see what's going on with him. But who are they? Like you mentioned, they are a team that holds down or is holding down the third wild card spot in the league. Who can they be? 4 games behind, you could be in the mix for this division. Like I said earlier, I went from not even paying attention to the division, saying, all right, I'm going to peek around the corner and check on the division and see what's going down. But now you have to make some moves. And everyone's trying to make a move at the trade deadline. It's not like you're going to be the only one doing it. All right, so John Morosi has some thoughts on making enough to make some upgrades, right? They should be buyers at the trade deadline, essentially what he's saying.
It's a team that's good enough to make some upgrades. So my long way of answering the question is I really see no way that they're sellers. No way. Maybe if they dip below 500, maybe it's more of a tepid buy. But they should buy. This league is there for the taking. Okay, it is. And the Yankees, they don't have Garrett Cole. They don't have Juan Soto, guys that helped to make the World Series last year. This is the year that unless you're clearly not good enough, and I count 3 teams that are clearly not good enough, you should be buying at the deadline in the American League.
3 teams that are clearly not good enough. He must be talking about the White Sox. He must be talking about the Rockies. And who are you going to throw in there? The A's, maybe?
Yeah, you could throw the A's definitely in there. Probably the Orioles as well. Nationals for sure, 39-61 Pirates. You're starting to see a little more you're starting to see the obvious sellers kind of reveal themselves a little bit more and more over the last couple of weeks. But, yeah, you're going to be in a dogfight with a lot of these teams in the American League, and that makes the possibilities of this season all the more tantalizing because look at up and down the American League. Does anybody strike you as a threat to win the World Series, like at their very best? Maybe the Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
They have their warts. The Mariners just swept them and swept them with ease. The Blue Jays, they've been very up and down this season. They're 58-41, but only have a run differential of plus 26. They've gotten hot over the last couple of weeks for sure, but again, they did not look like a really great team the last time the Mariners played them. The Yankees have the best run differential in the AL, but boy, they just seem to be full of drama these days. Can't get it out of their own way. The Red Sox are a weird team. They just traded their best player and have been playing incredible baseball since then. How does that work? So, I mean, there's just so much weird going on in the American League right now that it opens the door for anybody to step through. I mean, I'm looking at teams that are even a level behind the Mariners right now. The Rays at 52-48, the Guardians at 48-50, the Twins at 48-51, the Royals, the Rangers, the Angels. I mean, who's to say one of those teams doesn't get hot and they can go out and acquire? I mean, look at the Rangers for goodness sake. Their top of the rotation right now is one of the, or maybe the best top of the rotation in Major League Baseball. Jacob deGrom, 9-2 with a 2.32 ERA. Nathan Eovaldi, 7-3 with a 1.58 ERA. Now, both those guys have injury concerns for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But what they have done this season is flat out dominate. The only thing that they're waiting on is their offense to show up, and it hasn't really for the most part this season. But that Rangers team with that good of pitching atop their rotation, that's dangerous. That's a team that I'm looking at, and I'm like, ooh, I don't like that they're only, 3 games back of the Mariners?
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So, yes, when you hear that cut by John Morosi, there is opportunity not just for the Mariners, but for darn near everybody in the American League, which should then increase the Mariners' desire to go out and add.
What's the boat races that they do at T-Mobile?
The hydroplanes?
Yeah, that's what it feels like right now. Because, at some point during that race, the boat that you are rooting for is going to take the lead. Right? It's going to tease you. It's going to take the lead a little bit. Hey, get the yellows involved. Get the red involved. But at the end of the day, only one team's going to win. That's how I see this race right now. It's like at some point, hey, the Mariners are going to look good. You sweep the Tigers, and then you take a step back with one loss on a Sunday. And Boston's going to look good. It's just there's a back and forth that's going to happen. Who's going to hold off the last 60-something games? What move is going to be made? And I've slowly started to just become even more and more of a fan of baseball's trade deadline than any other sport because of how long it takes for you to get there, the amount of games that you play, and you can literally add 2 pieces to a team that is in second place in the boat race to launch you over the ramp and you cross the finish line. It's been every year I just get more and more intrigued by this trade deadline.
Yeah, and I feel like the Major League Baseball trade deadline of all the sports, maybe a little bit less than basketball, but you can add the most impact at the trade deadline in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can add multiple difference makers and see a very real change in how your team plays over the season's final 2 months. Whereas in the NFL, I think back to like the Leonard Williams trade.
Yeah.
The Jacks actually didn't play very good after they traded for him. You'd think adding a player of his talent would have taken the lid off of things a couple of years ago and would have seen that 2023 Seahawks team make the playoffs because I think they were 5-2 or something like that, 6-2 to start the season, but it just didn't pan out that way. Whereas here in Seattle in 2022, you had Luis Castillo, you make the playoffs. Last year, you had Randy Arozarena, you're in it till the final weekend of the season.
Yeah.
And both those guys still here in 2025. You go out and extend Castillo after that trade. Arozarena was traded with multiple years of club control left. If the Mariners can find a guy like that again, I'd love that. I would absolutely love that. But, yeah, you can add tons of instant impact at the Major League Baseball trade deadline, even if it's not – say it's not Rafi Devers. Even if it's not him, you can still go out and get guys like Gino Suarez would be instant impact to the Mariners offense.
It's because in baseball you control your own destiny. You literally don't need anybody to help you in the batter's box. It is just you and the pitcher. So we're hoping that move comes true. And then another boat I'm watching closely are the Diamondbacks. Like, what are they really going to do? And, someone texted in. They're like, well, they already said that they're going to be sellers at the trade deadline. And I go, yeah, that's today. That's July 21st. Like I said, boat analogy. Green is in the lead right now. Red could win this thing any minute now. So it's this is fun, man. Boat race this thing. And let's get this W. How do we get the W? Is Gino? Gino gives you the W?
To me, it's Gino Suarez. I think Josh Naylor could help you get there too. Ryan O'Hearn, maybe not as much as Gino or Naylor, but I think to me, Gino Suarez has the proven track record of being able to hit in this ballpark, can play some really good defense. And I think the thing too that is not talked about as much is what kind of lift it would give that clubhouse to see Gino Suarez walk in through those double doors. His first day back. I've talked about this a lot with you guys, but there is a neon light sign from the Mariners clubhouse to the field that says good vibes only. Who used to say that all the time? It was Gino Suarez. Like, his saying is still looked at every single day by those players that walk from the clubhouse to the field. Like, you're telling me this clubhouse would not, like, go buck wild as soon as they see Gino and his million-watt smile walking in through that door? That would be insane to see. I would love to see that filmed. I'm giving you free ideas here, Mariners social media and the Mariners front office. You don't even have to cut me a check for that one. But, yeah, so that to me would be the winning move at the trade deadline for the Mariners. Go out and get Gino Suarez.
Quick Seahawks news. They signed cornerback Cam Alexander and D lineman Justin Rogers. Don't know much about him, but I will by tomorrow.
My cousin Justin. Congrats to him.
Man, because tell him to cut a check, man. Help us out over here on the Bump and Stacy show.
Give him this game change.
All right, let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
Bump, there is a couple of situations going on with the Bengals right now. What do you make of the mess that they have found themselves in?
It's nasty over there in Cincinnati, man. It's nasty, and I don't understand it. The GM came out and said, look, I understand what Shamar Stewart is doing right now. He's holding out because the guy he is paying to give him advice is giving him that advice. When you are a young professional athlete, you lean on your agent so much. I remember my agent, Kerry Fabricant, if you're listening in New York, I doubt it. What's up, man? I'd sit there and just have conversations with him every single day about what I needed to do, what was going to happen, this, that, and the third. And this is coming from an undrafted free agent, a guy who got drafted in the first round, dealing with a bunch of money, wants to make sure that he's financially secure if he were to get hurt. I could imagine what those conversations are like. So then you go over to Trey Hendrickson. We listen to their owner say he deserves a raise. He should be paid accordingly. So what is taking so dang long? If you got into the playoffs, if your defense makes 1 or 2 more stops last season, you are in the playoffs, and Joe Burrow probably wins the MVP because of the way that he played last year. He was by far the best quarterback in the game last year. Argue with me, I don't care. Josh Allen, big ups to you. You deserved it. Lamar, you deserved to be talked about as well. Pat Mahomes, I get it. But what Joe Burrow did last year was crazy. Take care of your defense. All right, sign the young man, get some language in there that he understands, that he likes, his agent agrees with, and then get Henderson to help out an offense that you know is going to be potent because Coach Joe Burrow is over there. So, yeah, it's messy. Clean it up. I'm done talking about it.
Second down. All right, Noah Fant, no longer a Seahawk, so what do you expect from their tight end room going forward?
I don't know what to expect, but I think there's enough talent for them, A.J. Barner and Arroyo, to be two of the better tight end combos in the game. You got Knox and Kincaid over there with the Buffalo Bills. You have Likely and Andrews over there with the Baltimore Ravens. It's rare that you can put two tight ends out there and they can be mentioned the same way you talk about the duo receivers in the league. There's a lot of potential. We know Arroyo is dynamic. He can line up inside, outside, attach a line of scrimmage. I think A.J. Barner is dynamic as well. There's some potential there. The one thing I want to see is the Hawks bring in just a veteran tight end. Maybe a guy you don't even expect to play that much, but a guy who's been around the league for 8, 9 years, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, whatever. All right, a couple contracts and understands how to be a pro and can just mentor these guys. You got to let them get in the forefront and lead the charge and make the plays, but there's nothing like having some support there. You saved yourself $8.9 million. Curtis thinks that they're going to spend a lot of that money that they saved on the future, right? Guys that you want to bring back. Is it Rick Woolen? Is it Kobe Bryant? Whatever it is to make this team better. But if you can hit with these young tight ends, you're going to see a lot of 12 personnel. There's some potential there. Don't know how this is going to go, but I think that they can be one of the best duos in the game. So let's hope it works out.
They're down. Bump, who on this Seahawks roster has the most to lose and gain this season?
It's Mr. Woolen. Woolen has the most to gain and the most to lose. He has the most to gain because when you look at him physically, he looks like an NFL cornerback. 6 interceptions his rookie year. The numbers have gone down there. But if he can just perform like a Pro Bowl type of quarterback, he's going to get paid. I don't think he'll be paid like the top corner in the league, but I think he'll get around $18 to $20 million a year if he's a Pro Bowl. If he has 5 to 6 interceptions, if he has 10 to 12 passes defended, if he's better in the run game. Physically, he has everything you want in a corner. He has size, he's long, he's fast, he knows how to play the football. He was a receiver at one point in college. He has it all. If he can have himself a big year, he probably doesn't play for the Seahawks because he's going to want to get paid. And I don't know if Schneider's going to want to pay him, but it's going to be a big year for Rick Woolen, man. He's got to get it done.
4th down. In hour 2, we finished off our NFC West check-in series with Rams voice JB Long. Bump, anything stand out to you from our conversation with JB?
First one is Adams is a significant upgrade from Cooper Kupp. And I can agree with him, but Cooper Kupp is ours now, and I'm going to text him on the side and say, man, watch your tone talking about our guy Cooper, okay? He's ours now. But he's right, man. Devontae Adams is a great receiver. He's one of the best in the red zone. His releases are crazy. He's a baller. The other one that stood out is that he said he doesn't expect a rookie tight end in Ferguson, the guy they drafted out of Oregon, to come in and make a huge impact in a Sean McVay offense. The reason why I perked up a little bit is because this offense that we're going to see here in Seattle kind of resembles what's happened over there with the Rams, with the Niners, with the Vikings, now the Bears. There's some similarities there. So can we expect Arroyo to step into this thing and learn it and make some big plays? Well, we shall see. But that's where the teaching comes in. Mike McDonald says the guys he has on staff are great teachers. So let's teach this young tight end room how to ball out. JB Long, a friend of mine for the past few years, has some good stuff to say about the Rams. And when it comes to that offense, there's a lot of movement, pre-snap movement. We're going to see Cooper Kupp with a lot of pre-snap movement, JSN as well. These tight ends are going to move. I'm just really excited to see if who's going to step up. Because I feel like we can count on JSN. Everyone else is kind of a question mark, right? Is Ken Walker going to be the guy that we saw his rookie season? Can Charbonnet be the downhill runner that we love? The tight end room, are they going to perform? MVS, can he average his 16, 17 yards of reception like he's done throughout his career? There are just a lot of questions going on over here. But when he talked about the tight ends, I put Arroyo out there, and it makes me wonder what he's going to do. I believe in him, though, 100%. I believe
that Elijah Arroyo will have a successful season. I believe that Elijah Arroyo will have a successful season.
Get that chant going this year, guys. It's going to be easy. You guys got it. All right. Let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
The Mariners open up a 3-game series against the red-hot Brewers. Pregame starts at 5:30. First pitch is at 6:40 on Seattle Sports. About a half an hour left in the show. We got some things that we're going to do. What I need to know. Be sure to get your questions in. The number is 866-979-3776. But before that, we're going to give you a little preview. What should you be watching for when it comes to this Mariners-Brewers series? That's coming up next on the Bump and Stacy Show.
The clack of the cleats. The sounds of summer drifting off Lake Washington. These sounds of summer are the prelude to the symphony of fall and winter. Football season is coming. Just 2 more days until Seahawks training camp begins.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by The Landing in Renton.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
The American Band, the legendary Grand Funk Railroad, is rolling into Muckleshoot Event Center Wednesday, August 6th, with special guest Jefferson Starship. Don't miss this night of classic rock that defined a generation. Get tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com. Grand Funk Railroad with special guest Jefferson Starship. Only at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Summer is here, and now's the time to break through those weight loss frustrations. Hey, it's Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic, and we have a proven system that can help you lose weight and get healthy. No drugs, no side effects, no calorie counting, no exercise. Just teaching you the simple steps to become a fat-burning machine and keep it off long term. Remove the stress of trying to do this on your own and picture being down 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days with our help. At Eastside Weight Loss Clinic, we know the secret for fast and lasting weight loss using real healthy foods and lifestyle changes. Schedule your free consultation online at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Yeah, look your best this summer. Even with a busy schedule and vacation, the Eastside Weight Loss Clinic plan isn't going to cause much disruption. Don't wait or put it off because you're busy. Lose weight during this summer and watch that transformation really happen for you.
Join the thousands of people who've lost 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 60 days. You can do our program in person in Kirkland or all remotely. Schedule your free phone consultation online at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not 37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure. Dewy skin.
Terrific. Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket? But somehow, tonight's all about your skincare. Wow.
With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
This summer, make sure your roof is ready for the season ahead with a company you can trust, like 3 Tree Roofing. We're not just your roofers, we're your neighbors, and we're here to help you protect your home this season. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free on-site estimate and get your roof replaced before the summer rush and potential material price increases. Our certified technicians make your roof replacement easy and worry-free, so you can focus on the important things this summer. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free, no-pressure estimate. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Summer is in full swing, and T-Mobile Park is the hottest spot in Seattle. Don't miss out on special events like the next Mariners Fireworks Night on Friday, August 1st, presented by T-Mobile. Cal Raleigh and the crew are taking on the division rival Rangers at 7:10, and after the final out, we'll be lighting up the sky with an epic post-game show.
Holy smokes, what a firecracker! Upper deck number 34 for the big number.
Go to mariners.com/fireworks to lock in your seats today.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
This is the Bumpin' Stacy Show. Curtis Rogers filling in for Stacy Ross. The Mariners got a game tonight. Curtis, don't know if you knew that.
I'm pretty familiar with their schedule.
Yeah,
It kind of dictates my work schedule.
Pre-game starts at 5:30. First pitch is at 6:40. They're taking on the Brewers. And you said that they are one of the hottest teams in the game right now, these Brewers. So what's the first thing you're looking forward to seeing during this match? Now, goodness gracious, the Brewers just swept the Dodgers, swept the Nationals, then swept the Dodgers again. Yeah. You were lying when talking about these Brewers were hot. What are we seeing?
Yeah, they're playing some really good ball as of late. Winners of 10 straight. And this is just kind of the Brewers' thing, is that they just kind of wait around, and then get hot at the end of the season or near the end of the season. You look at their big names on the team. Christian Yelich is still there after all these years. He's got 19 home runs this season. He's been playing pretty decently. An OPS is 788. Bryce Terang he's a spark plug for them. 18 stolen bases this year. This is a team that really gets after it on the base paths. They have 6 guys with more than 10 stolen bases, almost a seventh. If you add Caleb Durbin to that total. So they're going to be moving on the base paths for sure. Jackson Chourio, kind of their answer to Julio. He's really young. I believe he's just 22 years old. Has all the tools in the world. Can be really good. Hasn't quite lived up to the billing yet this season, but definitely somebody worth watching. Pitching side of things, Freddie Peralta has been their rock this season. 12 wins, a 2.85 ERA. And then a guy who you will see this week, I believe he gets the start on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, is kind of taking the baseball world by storm ever since he got called up. Making the National League All-Star team after just 5 starts, that'd be one Jacob Mizorowski, who we saw throw in that All-Star game. He hit 103 miles an hour. Just a phenomenal talent that the Brewers have added to this rotation. So they've got really good players, and pitching has definitely led the way for them this year. So it's going to be a challenge again for this Mariners team. I know when you see the Brewers, you don't necessarily think like, oh, this is going to be a really tough series for you, but they are truly playing the best ball of anybody in baseball right now. Luckily, you've got Kirby, Gilbert, and Castillo over the next 3 nights, so you're going to be able to match them arm for arm.
Yeah, that's good. I like who we have on the mound here. And then when you talk about the Brewers, they're a team that I haven't really been paying attention to, honestly. And,
I don't blame you. I don't blame anybody.
I ain't really been paying attention to the Brewers, but you got to take them seriously. Is there a player that you feel like is close to just breaking out on this roster? Or do you think that I'm talking about the Mariners, or do you think that you're just going to have to rely on the same bats this series.
It's
Cole Young makes me happy seeing him have a second walk.
I would love to see Cole Young be able to put a nice little power swing on a ball and put one out here in Seattle. He's yet to do that so far during his time with the Mariners, but I think it's coming soon. I think they were talking about this on the broadcast yesterday, and he has really been a nice piece for them here in the month of July. And it's Jorge Polanco. And I would love to see him continue to do what he's been doing here in July. He had the 2 RBIs yesterday, had the pinch hit home run last Sunday against the Tigers. He's got 4 home runs in the month. He's OPSing above 1,000. You look at his OPS by month this year. In April, it was 1,284. In May, it was 413. In June, it was 582. And now here in July, it's back up to 1,000, just over 1,000 and 1,004. Jorge Polanco is a guy that you didn't really quite know how important he was going to be to this Mariners offense.
Mm-hmm.
But then once he got going, it was like, oh, man, if this is who Jorge Polanco is going to be this season, this is actually a nice added bonus to this Mariners roster. I hope that he plays a lot in this series, and I hope that he plays a lot down the stretch because, I mean, you look at his numbers, 15 home runs this season, 46 runs driven in, an OPS nearing 800 at 782. That'll play. That'll play anywhere. And if he continues at that pace, that's off-season signing of him. That's going to be a pretty shrewd one. So Jorge Polanco's a guy that I'm looking at as like, oh, yeah, this guy, I don't know if he's back, but he's definitely in a much better place here in July.
He's contributing for sure. 4 home runs this month, the most since April, where he was going nuts, and he hit 8. Like you mentioned, his OPS is back up to over 1,000 this month. He's at batting 298. So yes, Jorge Polanco, we are going to need this guy to step up as well. My pick, I just always go to the bottom of the order, some young cats. You know, I just want to see Cole Young do his thing. I think the thing that's stopping Cole Young is he doesn't understand, or he's confused. He doesn't know if he wants to wear a mustache or not. And you got to stick with it. It's like when I do TV, the lady who does my makeup, she goes, all right, this has to be the length of your beard all year. Like, you cannot change the length of your beard. I'm like, all right, cool, got it.
All right.
So figure out what you want to do, Cole. Figure out what you're going to do.
He's, 21 years old?
Yeah.
I think recently turned 22. When I was 22, I didn't know what facial hair I was going to go with. I could barely grow a beard when I was 22, but now that I'm approaching my mid-30s, like, the facial hair comes in. Like, it'll be there, Cole. Just give it some time.
It'll
give
be
it
there.
some time.
Hey, so the segment before this, we're 100 games in. Who can the Mariners be? Who do they want to be, or whatever? 100 games in, how has Dan Wilson grown to you?
That's a good one. That's a really good question, Bump. I would say that I definitely have more faith in him now than I did at the start of the season.
Mm-hmm.
He still makes some decisions on the roster, or specifically in pitching matchups, where I'm kind of like, I don't see the vision here, Dan. But that comes with anybody in the first year of managing. And I mean, a lot of managers come to the big leagues with previous managerial experience. He does not. He has a ton of playing experience for sure. So you knew that this season was going to be a lot of trial and error. You knew that this season was going to be him just getting the feel of being in charge, and also having to manage as though, hey, we're going to be in the thick of this. We need you to be we can't really allow for many big mistakes in terms of what's gone on. I would say Dan Wilson has largely avoided the catastrophic mistake with this team. There haven't been a ton of managerial decisions that have tanked them to where it's like, oh my gosh, what are you doing?
Right.
There have been plenty of them where it's like, man, I was not comfortable with that guy coming up in that situation. I would have loved to have seen this arm come out of the bullpen instead of that one. I did not really understand it. Why did this guy stay in for the 10th inning when you had this fresh arm here or there? But ultimately, I mean, you could do a lot worse than Dan Wilson as your manager right now. I think in today's game, Bump, there are so few managers that are elite of the elite. When you think of great managers, you probably only think of 4 or 5 guys: Dave Roberts, Terry Francona, Maybe Stephen Vogt in Cleveland. That's another one. Brian Snitker in Atlanta. Bob Melvin in San Francisco. Mike Schilt in San Diego. Like, there's just not a ton of guys that you would say, I want this guy managing over my guy. So the fact that Dan Wilson's maybe not a bottom 10 manager in baseball in year one, I think that's a pretty decent start to a managerial career. I think there's only room for growth.
Only room for growth. That's good, Dan. Keep up the good work. Curtis approves, okay? He gave you a report card, 100 games in.
I mean, I'm not in love, but like I will approve of what I've seen for sure.
He's not in love, but he approves of what he's seen. That's big coming from Curtis.
Yeah.
Okay? He doesn't just give out compliments like that.
I do not.
All right, he's a tough cookie. All right, what we got going today? All right, man, get your questions in. We have What I Need to Know coming up. Stacy's not here, so reality TV questions are going to have to hold for a little bit. But get your questions in, 866-979-3776. What I Need to Know coming up next.
It's one of the most pivotal stretches for the Mariners this season, with just 10 days till the trade deadline.
Mariners plan for the trade deadline.
Obviously, the biggest question, and our buddy Jeff Passan, who are the best bats available? It's Gino and it's Naylor.
It would make this team right there with every other team that has World Series aspirations.
Stay plugged in as the Mariners approach the trade deadline on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Why is Mazda of Everett the #1 dealer on the West Coast? Mazda of Everett is locally owned and operated for 20 years. They work hard to get you their best deal every time and to make sure you drive away happy. With over 700 new Mazdas, they stock more than anyone in the Seattle area. Find out for yourself why people keep coming back to Mazda of Everett. Take advantage of the Mazda of Everett price during the More to Move You sales event. MazdaofEverett.com. Claims based on Mazda USA inventory and sales reports.
Does your yard need shade, privacy, or a little brightening up? Look no further than Big Trees. I'm Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. At our 30-acre location, there are thousands of trees to choose from and knowledgeable staff, including a board-certified master arborist, to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Visit the nursery and learn more about Big Trees at BigTreeSupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
Did you know that most people wait 6 or 7 years before they buy a new TV? That's a lot of time in front of one TV. So why not get one of the best sets for the next 7 years, like one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony models? Too expensive? What if you could get up to $1,000 trade-in for your old set? Who would do a stupid deal like this? Right now, at Video Only, you can get big bucks for your old set as a trade-in and a hot price on the new models. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only.
Old windows cost you money and security. Lake Washington Windows and Doors installs energy-efficient, high-security windows that lower your bills and increase protection. With leak armor installation and lifetime warranties, you're protected for life. Choose LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
The biggest scuba sale in America starts Thursday at Underwater Sports in North Seattle. Incredible savings for 3 days only. Divers Fair only happens once each year at Underwater Sports, 107th and Aurora Avenue North.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The
future is here. So why is your internet stuck in the past? With Quantum Fiber Internet, you can get next-level multi-gig speed on a reliable fiber network. Fair and honest pricing with no annual contracts or bundling required. And whole home 360 Wi-Fi to make sure your devices are ready to take you where you want to go. So you can stream, post, game, surf, like, and love to your heart's content. You do you. Let Quantum Fiber Internet take care of the rest. Learn more at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service and speed in select locations only.
The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Seattle home prices, well, they just keep going up, and you might be ready to take advantage. If you're getting ready to sell or just moved into a new home, now is the time to get a thorough inspection of your crawl space and attic. And don't do it yourself. You don't want to be crawling around in there. You probably don't even really know what to look for. It's Mike Salk here, and Crawl Pros will go where you don't want to, so you can know if there's anything going on in your crawl space or attic without having to crawl into and evaluate those spaces on your own. A free inspection will let you know if your home is energy efficient and if the air you're breathing is clean and safe. Plus, there are some really great utility rebates available right now to help you with the cost of the new insulation if it's needed. How nice would it be to get someone else to cover that cost? Had them out to my house, and it was a great idea. Did that free corner-to-corner inspection, found some issues, they took the pictures, showed them to me, and then solved the problem. No issues since. If you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
So why don't you speed? I've had one too many close calls on the road, and then I learned the facts.
It's dangerous to drive too fast.
It's true. 1 in 3 fatal crashes involve speeding.
Most people try to be safe, but speeding is dangerous.
You know, the faster you go, the longer it takes to stop.
The faster you drive, the harder you'd hit someone. Slower speeds save lives.
Please drive the speed limit so everyone is safe. Learn more at togetherwegetthere.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
It's time for What I Need to Know. Get your questions in. 866-979-3776. First, Survivor, Alone, or Naked and Afraid? Which one are you and why?
Well, I would say Survivor, that's my favorite of those three.
Yeah.
Naked and Afraid is a fun watch, too.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't know how they do it on Naked and Afraid. Especially, like, at nighttime.
Yeah.
It dips down to, like, 35, 40 degrees in some of these places.
Yeah.
Insanity. But Alone, I think, is the most intense because you're not even out there with a camera crew.
Dolo.
It's just you.
Dolo.
Which one are you?
Probably Survivor. Alone. I ain't trying to be out there by myself.
No.
Naked and Afraid. No, it's cold, just like you mentioned. Survivor, you're competing.
Right.
You know, I like competition.
There's still rewards.
Yeah.
You have the chance at like a cheeseburger every third day.
Yeah. Some rice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Naked and Afraid was nuts because there are people on it, like they have an all-star edition where it's dudes it's dudes and gals that have been on it for like 10 episodes each. And it's like, this is what you do for fun?
Oh wow. Bones, which one are you doing?
100% would be Survivor. I would never go do Naked and Afraid. Yeah, Alone, I would die.
What I need to know, with all the interviews, have you ever been starstruck? Nah, I don't get starstruck. I might have. Nah, it's Kobe is the only one that'll get me.
Yeah. I was kind of starstruck when we had Klay Thompson on the show.
Yeah, and that was a good get for you too.
Thank you.
That was really good. Yeah.
And now I have his phone number.
Let's text him. How's you and the Stallion doing?
Yeah, Clay the Stallion. Yeah, I mean, in this business, you can allow for yourself to be starstruck when it comes to people. I mean, heck, I met Ken Griffey Jr. for the first time like a month ago.
So jealous.
Right. And when that happened, I would like frozen because I was like, what do I say? This guy's a big reason why I love baseball.
Right.
So you can allow yourself to get starstruck, but don't let that encroach on like professionalism. Don't let that encroach on remembering, oh yeah, there's like an audience here that wants to hear from this person.
Right.
Not just my personal memories.
Right. Hey, let me tell you about this one time.
Yeah, hey man, you remember when you did that? That was pretty cool.
What I need to know, how short is too short for guys' shorts? One, wear your shorts wherever length you want. For me, maybe like an inch or two above the knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have noticed, yes, shorts have gotten shorter.
Yeah.
I'm okay with going same thing, an inch or two above the knee. I'm not going any higher than that.
Nah.
I mean, I would love for fashion to come back in and big baggy basketball shorts became fashionable again, but I don't think it's happening, Bob.
Nah.
I don't see it happening.
Well, not for us. The kids are wearing big stuff, but we're stuck. Like how we dress now is how we're gonna dress forever.
Right.
So we're stuck in this twilight. But with high school football around the corner, who do you like in 3A and 4A this year? You guys know how 3A goes. You know high school sports. You know it's gonna come down to Eastside Catholic, O'Day, Bellevue, and then some random school that no one really thought about at the beginning of the season. 4A is a bit more wide open. You have Kennewick, Mount Spokane, Lake Stevens, like a Skyline. I mean, 4A is open. So, we'll see. Good luck. All right, what I need to know, why can't people... What is that?
What bumps?
What I need to know, why can't people behave at baggage claim at the airport or push a cart at Costco? It's a great question.
I think I have more issues with people pushing carts at Costco than baggage claim.
Yeah.
Baggage claim, if you just remember what your luggage looks like, it's fine. Costco, too many people caught looking around, just amazed at all the things you can buy there, and they forget that you could be holding up cart traffic here.
Right.
You could be running into people. Those carts are huge, by the way.
Yeah.
Too many kids running in and out. Like, all decorum is lost once you enter a Costco. And it's unfortunate because it could be a really fun time if there was a little more order in place at Costco. But people just become dumb in there.
They get starstruck by the portions of food.
Yeah.
And just the variety.
They're just shocked.
Get anything at Costco.
Anything could exist like this.
So, but baggage claim, the one thing I don't like about baggage claim is when people kind of just, where the bags initially come down, everyone like fights to get right there.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
spread out.
Just spread out.
Yeah.
Just work left to right. It's going to come in a circle.
Right.
We'll be fine. Unless, I guess you're behind, you're in a rush or something like that, I guess. But, Costco pizza or hot dog?
The hot dog is the best deal in fast food, really. $1.50.
It's $1.50 for a glizzy?
For a glizzy plus a soda.
For $1.50?
Yeah, you get a hot dog and a soda for $1.50.
I had no idea.
It's not just the hot dog. It's It's both. So I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Their hot dogs, their glizzies, let me tell you, Bump, they're so good they don't even need condiments.
Like that.
Yeah.
I'm going pizza. I'm just a pizza guy.
Their pizza's really good.
Yeah. I've gotten to like a food coma before trying to eat a whole Costco pizza. What I need to know, since you're talking about hydroplanes, I'm going to the Columbia Cup hydroplane races in Tri-Cities on Sunday. Have you been to one of the unlimited hydroplane races in person before? No, I haven't.
I have not either.
No. I think that'd be cool to watch, though.
It would be. It'd be cool to watch from like a box somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just like general admission, I feel like that'd be pretty hard to follow the action as everything's just zooming by you.
Right. I feel like
it's Seafair weekend.
Yeah. If you're on a boat or something with some friends, maybe.
Sure.
It's kind of like in the background. You're not really paying attention, but you look. Oh, look, there's a boat. Yeah.
The hydroplanes are a very big deal around here. I get that. Do they? This may seem like a dumb question, but is there like a hydroplane circuit? I know he mentioned Tri-Cities, but like, do they just travel around the United States in bodies of water? Is it like NASCAR?
Right? That's a good question.
I feel dumb for asking this because I've lived in Washington 31 out of my 34 years.
Yeah.
Like, I should know this.
You should know this,
I'm
Curtis.
Mr. Sports Trivia, but I feel stupid.
You're Mr. Washington himself.
425 says yes, there's a circuit.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Okay.
Did you get your battery swapped?
Oh, yeah.
Funny story.
How did you get home on Friday?
The car just turned on.
Unbelievable.
No trouble. I was
Didn't
telling
even
Bones.
need it?
Telling Bones, and I go home. And I go, all right, well, this is a true test. It's going to sit here for a while again. Car just turned on.
Unbelievable.
Like, what's going on here?
Why was it giving you fits?
I don't know.
Now do you approach it with a hesitancy of like, hopefully this thing turns on?
Every time now. Now I'm just like, I hope it turns over. People were saying it was the alternator because the battery wasn't charging. Yeah, that could have been it, but I don't know, man. Just started working. So.
Well, glad you made it home.
Yeah, I made it.
Glad
See if
you
I make it
didn't
home
have any
today.
issues. Yeah. Well, you know where the jumper cables are.
I do.
Here.
I do. Sonics or a new name? Easy. Sonics. Come on, man.
Gotta be the Seattle Supersonics. There's no other way.
There's no other way.
No other way you could have a team here.
Yeah. Fellas, what's an album you can put on and just kick back and let play without skipping a song? The Clips' new album I just heard is pretty dope. Straight through. The old Chronic 2001. Play that thing straight through.
Currently in the Kia Sportage that I drive, if I skip any song on the Lilo and Stitch soundtrack, I get yelled at by a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. So I guess that one right now.
Okay. Lilo and Stitch.
Honestly, music is that is not my forte.
It's not your thing?
It has never been. Like I'm going to end this show on a hot take. I hate concerts. I do not like concerts.
Oh, man. What if it's in a suite, though?
Sure, I'll do that. But I do not like concerts.
You might need to get off my lawn segment. All right, man. It's been real. Curtis, always great doing shows with you, man.
Fun last few days, Mo.
Yeah.
But we got Stacy back tomorrow, so the whole gang's here.
Mama Bear's back. All right, you got Wyman and Bob coming up next.
The clack of the cleats. The sounds of summer drifting off Lake Washington. These sounds of summer are the prelude to the symphony of fall and winter. Football season is coming. Just 2 more days until Seahawks training camp begins.
Seattle Sports Training Camp coverage is presented by The Landing in Renton.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
This is my life. This is my family's life. The people that work here, they're my family. When something's not right with them, it's not right with us.
We get notifications every time we get a review. And I said, how do you not let it eat you up? Sometimes I feel so responsible. And his answer was, I just look at it as an opportunity. We need that feedback to learn and to do better. I'm grateful for the feedback.
Big part of sales is the relationship aspect. People want to do business with someone they can trust, who's a real person. They don't feel like you're just going after their money. And when you take the time to get to know them, get to know their needs, not be a car salesman, but be a consultant, then they feel more comfortable with you, and the experience is better on both sides.
It's not about closing deals. It's about opening relationships, helping people make the right choice. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years years guaranteed all in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data, except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan. We are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
If something happens to you, what happens to your family? Will they struggle financially? Will they be able to afford the home you built together? With Ethos, you can get life insurance coverage in minutes. Get up to $2 million in coverage for as little as $2 a day. All online with no medical exam. Just answer a few health questions. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact